Hello, everybody. Welcome along to our Hindsight Podcast Studios, the season finale of the show. My name is Ubi Nso Duonovid, alongside three very ready-to-holiday pundits, starting off with Twitter Sugar Daddy and double award-winning podcaster, Mr. IBK Sports, who's rocking the pink shirt today. I hope that's the holiday mood in session. Definitely. Next up is the man who's got the one of the longest dreads in the entire Lagos now. FX, how long your dread's been for? Baba Femi Shosonya, it's good to have you as well for the final episode of the show.
What up? Big ups.
Good
Hindsight.
to see you. Up Chelsea here.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Mr. Olakule Rufai, who's A&R for many artists in his spare time. Helps artists to distribute music and whatnot. My name is UB. Great to have everyone here. Gentlemen, good to see everybody.
Yep.
This is the final episode of the show for the 24-25 season. So, we've got a... It's not easy. We're due a holiday.
Yeah.
Right? Even though I'll still be in Lagos, chilling. Gentlemen, what's happening, man? What's good?
I mean, it's good to see. Do you know that it is only with Barcelona fans, right, that I find they're the only group of fans that not only support the club but support the league. So when a team from the league is playing against any other person from any other league, they're supporting that team. Even with Madrid fans, I don't find that. But with Barcelona fans, if an English team is playing against, like last night, Barcelona fans were
supporting Betis.
They were Betis. It is only with Barcelona fans. I don't understand it.
Even Spanish national team, we do the same as well.
I mean, but United fans are shameless. Yeah.
I can understand.
I can
understand with national team because at least some of your players will be in the national team. But Betis, you say I'm like,
bro, people were doing memes or those AI memes of Akpos in a Real.
So there was a Real Betis,
cow.
you know, like
That's
it was a menace.
That me cry.
You know how they
Fela was wearing a jersey. So I saw that. I'm like, nah, man, stop.
Grok on Twitter, right?
Yeah, Grok.
Yeah.
So if you tell Grok to change,
sharp,
sharp, he's like, Grok, please. Wear this man a Real Betis jersey. Bro, it was crazy yesterday, man. But I think that was one of the nicest. This season is one of the, in the history of Hate Watch, this season has been
it's a monumental
Hate Watch season. I don't know that we would have another season where Hate Watch was this prevalent. So that was really good. I thought it was really nice. 2 days ago was Children's Day, and it was nice. The funny thing is, I actually always feel like Children's Day is a public holiday. I only realized on the morning that it wasn't a holiday, but it was a holiday for the kids.
Holiday for the kids.
You know.
Yeah.
So
living your second childhood. Maybe that's why you still have
growing
that.
up, it wasn't too.
It was. What do you mean? It
Of
was.
course
it was. Now, come on now. You don't go to school now.
There were sometimes there were programs that could it was always holidays.
Me, I did go school.
You did live for house.
What I know is if your school selected you to go to match pass,
you could go to a match where there can be something happening in the stadium. There can be a program that you just go to, and the program it won't be for the whole day.
Sorry about that, man.
But the kids still go to the stadium these days. I was just wondering, because those things were actually fun, stadium, match pass, everybody.
I didn't used to enjoy match pass though. I didn't used to enjoy it.
So I could match.
I think the only time I enjoyed it was I was part of the drum.
Yeah, drummers.
Yeah, the drummers. This was primary school, so I think that's the only time I don't like matching.
I used to be a brass drum.
I preferred inter-house sports to Children's Day, man.
Yeah, that was fun. I mean, in secondary school, inter-house sports has like so many other things attached to it, like so many other things. Even if you're not participating in the games, there are other things that you can be doing that are going on.
Yeah, that's
so it's always fun.
It was really cool.
Even I don't go where they go fight, those that went to public school.
Man. No, inter-sport was
now no be inter-sport.
What I liked about inter-sport at the time was the new uniforms that will come out. The new inter-sport uniforms that will come out.
Yeah, the new.
So you had
colorful stuff, man. Yeah,
colorful stuff, very colorful stuff. Yellow house, all that
But
stuff.
depending on the school where you go, this is a new uniform.
But me, I go Chrisland and Lily, Lotus. Those are lovely.
Oh, yeah, went to Chrisland?
So I think what happened.
Has Chrisland around for that long?
Yeah, they have.
For almost forever.
They have. So I think they just keep
is a
opening
legend.
They just keep opening new locations.
Yeah, the one in Okwebi, Chrisland Primary School. Then
he just use style. Tell them say be small pikin.
No, I mean cause
yeah, joker.
He says we are for that long.
Hey. Focus. Mike 1. Back to Mike 1. Back to Mike 1.
So I mean,
that man wait. That is how we.
Hey.
Don't do that.
Let it go.
Owns the school.
Let it go.
Joker. Not the teacher.
So you know how for some of us I didn't grow up in. So I knew dancehall. I don't know if you know dancehall in school.
I can't remember.
So there's-
DANSO.
Yeah, DANSOL, something like that.
Okay,
so,
that's all.
That's
That
all I
name,
think
that
I've
name,
heard.
that name actually sounds
For Lagos
familiar.
or Nigeria.
No.
No,
Singapore.
That for Uzbekistan.
Czechoslovakia.
Comoros, now Comoros.
So I knew a couple of schools from, I didn't grow up in Lagos, so the way you come to Lagos, you kind of find out Christian is one of the, sort of like
Yeah, if you
Corona.
Corona them. Where would they go?
Corona.
Corona King's
BIS.
College.
I think there was
College,
BIS.
yeah.
There was.
Yeah, British. No.
British
Is it?
International
Yeah, British
School.
International
Yes,
School.
no, BIS.
Another very popular one was
ISL.
Badagry
Turkish.
School.
ISL too.
The Badagry Grammar School was
ISL.
very
Igbobi
popular.
too was
ISL.
pretty
Igbobi.
St. Gregory or what's in it?
Yeah, St. Greg is
Greg's.
very popular.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Greg,
Lagos
yeah.
Island. St. Greg is very popular.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Was it
why-
public
Memorial
or
College,
private?
Big shout out to Vector.
She's St. Greg's.
St. Greg's, I think, is a Catholic school.
Yeah,
not
but
church
it was
better.
top notch back.
I think it's a
back
Catholic
then.
school.
At
think
some
so.
point,
Oh yeah,
then,
St. Greg should be Catholic.
most
Yeah.
of those schools, at some point, then turn out to private, then they can't give them back again.
Yeah.
So
I think
that-
that's
Exactly,
what
yeah,
it
so
is.
it
St.
hand
Greg's
over
is
to
very
missionaries.
popular.
Yes.
This guy, William, went to St.
Went to
Greg's.
Greg, Lagos, yeah.
Yeah.
That's really nice. So
Vector went to St.
yeah.
Greg's. That's why I
Yep.
was repping them.
Yep.
Proper
So
Lagos Island School.
yeah, you get to see all those schools and you kind of find out that okay, this is in terms of like sort of like pyramid type thing. You kind of realize this school is a pretty
In
good
Model
school.
College, I go, sha.
Where?
Model College where?
Cancun, but I agree. I don't talk Cancun.
Badagry, really?
Almost sounded like
So you know
Cancun.
Badagry Grammar School then?
BGS.
Yes, sir. Badagry Grammar School is very popular. Isn't it?
Bro, anytime we they play match like this, you just know say na fight the finish. am.
Kako was
So
really,
why
really.
play?
Then
Why
there
is it
is
have a fight?
there's
fine.
federal government college in Ijaniki too was
yes.
very popular.
Janiki
Janiki,
too.
yes.
Janiki was
I have
popular.
a few friends that
I'm yet
went
to find somebody that went to command Oshodi.
My
Or
brother,
charity.
My younger
Oh,
brother.
really?
My brother went to command in
Oshodi.
Ojo, not Oshodi.
Well, I went to command Bodigbo in Ibadan.
Oh yeah.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, my brother went to Ojo.
My sister went to Air Force. Yeah.
Hard school to enter. She sabi any.
Oh, yeah. No. You see,
You be Air
this-
Force
this-
person.
this-
That school, I won't go am.
See, you said it. It's very
Chop
right.
me.
To enter Air Force was
Yes.
hard.
Very hard.
Now
Air
like,
Force and Navy.
now like they
Very hard.
if they don't drop name self or admission, you go no say this one now like secondary, now like
Man,
university.
things have changed.
Yeah,
Things
the
have-
thing,
Bro,
like,
like
things like
university,
things have really
things have
changed.
really
man.
changed.
to enter a wall.
Things
to
have
enter a
really,
mad
really
wall, bro.
changed. Like, it's funny
You be now from
it's funny you say
From
that.
Whitton.
you be you be now big boy right from time. So he want the
No, he say his sister
other-
village here.
Nine sister, no be.
Nine
Alpha,
sister.
relax.
No,
Yeah.
his sister now.
Relax.
No, his name Papa Timo. You
I
be
thought
now
it was
French
Air
boy normally.
Okay,
You
by
just come here,
affiliation,
you
by
fake.
affiliation.
No, that
Yeah.
one now by who no book did they talk.
No, my sister was very
No
smart.
be only book. oh.
You
That
get-
place
Oh,
no be only
he's very
book, oh.
smart.
No, now
Oh, yeah.
Air Force, no be only book, na connection,
now
bro.
majorly see.
Na
You know
connection.
you know when we're coming up, and I remember like when my older brothers like were trying to get into higher institutions, there's always that if you don't know person, those things were true. But what I also found out was that
If your grades were
if
already
you are
high,
Your
great,
grades were undeniable.
if you
Body
sabi,
grade- body grade
Come,
today,
come,
I
come,
know.
come.
let's have it. Let's have it.
When I went out, when I first went for pedigree in Akure Futa. So
Oh, really?
Yeah. So my papa, I don't tell my papa. One man just tell me say this could not be my school. This is not my way. So nobody. My papa come buy jam phone. You know, say if you do pedigree, go see right jam. So my papa come buy jam phone. I can't feel him. I know one spirit just tell me say pick in the lag, and I did Futa. Bro, I can't pick in the lag first choice. Futa second choice. So I don't tell anybody after
Say
like
that, so you are ready.
yes. So
That one don't happen for my house.
they can't tell me say.
Well, that's a lot of latitude, though.
I swear,
They
it can't
can't,
happen in my
they,
house.
can't, they can't tell me say I say
That's a lot of latitude.
say
If you your jam
Futa,
come and nobody know.
say Futa self no go gree second
Choice,
Even-
right? They are federal.
even say
They are
I dey
federal.
That's why I said they even do pedigree.
Yeah, they are federal school now. You can't put them second choice.
Oh, my dad was I knew that there was a problem, and I had to call my pops.
You don't hoodwink yourself.
I've hooked. I'm hooked.
I said, I said,
You
my
should not do-
I picked in lag first choice, so I first shout. Say which kind? Why I go do like kind?
You know person for
I
uni
want
like.
them say me no worry. Say there's one thing where they go with me very well. If I want something, they always come. Right from when I speak.
IBK.
Yes.
You
if
know
I
what
want-
Rolls
See
Royce?
where this story. dey
If
go.
I want no, the thing where I want
get-
is something where I fit.
Where
you
they
understand?
realistic.
Yeah,
No,
where
he
they
doesn't want a
realistic.
Rolls Royce.
You
now. How
don't
do you
get-
For now, it's not realistic.
How do you- it's not realistic.
If I drive Rolls Royce, come here.
How does he maintain it?
You know,
No, if you drive Rolls Royce, come here. I don't. There's nothing. I'll
so
just
no,
bill
but
you, know.
You go.
I'll just say your account number. Nothing. Nothing.
Bro, now so I tell my pops you, the man first vex. the bros he tell me make I deal with for
wrap it up, man.
the man para with the boys. He para with the bros. He say, why would you allow this young guy make he go pick Unilag this thing? Let me now round it up. Guess what? I wrote Post-UTME Unilag. I think I got 58 or something like that.
No, my experience with
at least there was no glitch. Didn't
my
you?
experience
Well, guess what? I entered University of Lagos.
Yes, now my experience
because I knew that I was going to enter.
My experience with Unilag was very, and it was the same thing because we used to hear the in fact I had somebody that was living on my street. When my popsi don't go talk to popsi now, landlord, this is your picking day Unilag. I said, they know this person, they pay so amount to this person. So we were like, it wasn't going to work. But me, I had already because I did at the time there was Polytechnic JAMB, different from
Polyjam.
Yeah. So I did Polyjam.
Yes,
it was later they merged it.
Wow.
So I did Polyjam.
Yeah.
Right. So I did Polyjam. I was going to go to Yabatech. So I passed Polyjam. Everything was right.
It was a bit relatively easier.
Yeah, Polyjam was relatively easier.
So I
went to Yabatech. It didn't work because my old WAEC, they cancelled it or something like that happened. Right, so I had to do JAMB again the following year. Special center kill you there. Special center destroy you there.
So why they hold your results? Why they hold your results?
They cancelled.
Why they cancelled?
So if you know, bro, relax. I can school you. I went to JAMB office in Yaba myself. I entered the place. If that's what I said, this is how I go there. I entered the place myself.
They'll say, Olakunle Rufai, are you supposed to be here? You are very stupid. This is not your seat. Get out of this hall.
If that special center, that kind of thing don't go happen now. Except your special center, they don't get waiting. They're supposed to do right.
The chaos in JAMB hall there. The chaos in JAMB hall.
Bro, JAMB hall, bro. My God.
So what these children went through just recently, this JAMB glitch.
JAMB, it's always been madness.
And one I heard that they were writing WAEC at night.
Yeah, at night. And all this is.
It's like they're just getting used to that.
My picking go right WAEC for
But
that.
we all do all this nonsense.
I'm making go school.
There were some times that we went to write JAMB, bro, and you are not writing it in a class. You just see that they have arranged chairs outside. Somewhere outside the school compound.
For real?
Yeah, man. Look at you.
FX before
the school doesn't have
internet
a roof or something.
FX before
you are
internet.
Traumatized already. Bro, like how am I going to pass?
Before internet first. The whole Lagos had to go to JAMB office to buy form.
Standard
to buy
now.
JAMB form. You go queue.
Standard now.
That time, now my popsi, my dad used to go to JAMB office to buy for everybody. The queue was madness. Then my senior brother would go with him. When the JAMB I did, it was the same thing because you never begin to them online. You go buy them. The brochure, they will give you everything for hand. They will carry and come out.
JAMB for Ikoyi.
And fill it properly.
Yes, now that JAMB for Ikoyi.
Ikoyi.
Even when I collected my original JAMB results, I had to go to Ikoyi myself.
I'm also going to wait for outside for JAMB. You go right after where they go. Which one be that? Which one?
You know, so it was really intense. Even when I did my first,
Which one be that one?
even when I did my first Post-UTME in Unilag, the Post-UTME we did the first one. It was I wrote 2 because I was supposed to enter in like 2009. It didn't work. Then I entered 2010. 2009 1. Now the first time where Unilag do CBT for Post-UTME.
Yeah.
So the whole thing was messed up.
Oh, really? You guys messed CBT? I didn't
Network
CBT.
was nonsense. Everything nonsense. You understand? So exam I was supposed to write at 4 p.m. At 8 p.m. I was still there. We never write exam.
What?
8 p.m. for night. We're there. Then they postponed the exam.
you.
Then they postponed the exam at 9 p.m. Right? So we went back.
Nonsense.
So I had to stay on campus because I didn't write it.
But boys, they carry scrunch, gentle.
When I write exam for 9 p.m.
No, it was CBT.
When I
like-
say scrunch, it means scrunch.
It'd be like
You know scrunch.
it'd be like one airline.
Nobody knows scrunch.
They don't disband that airline now.
Chai.
I know
Discovery Airline.
It is scrunch.
My flights.
Expo now.
What's crunch? I beg?
Scrunch now when you don't write.
Oh.
No, you couldn't do it with this one. I said
Exam now. You get type now.
Exactly.
Now CBT, you couldn't. There was a way. There was a way they were bypassing that typo. There was a way they were bypassing that typo.
That type.
So,
Yes,
me
and
and
they
you
go.
Me and you sit down now. You are type
you go just
A.
ask
You are
person.
type A and type C.
Yeah.
First 10
If somebody,
mix you guys.
somebody close to you is another type.
Just ask for first 10
me,
questions.
Me,
Finish.
if I ask for the question, already you know that it's not the same. If I JAMB did it to the point where at some point type A and type B, your
The
question
first
1,
10.
your question 1 might be my question 5. But I think they did it to the point where even the option of the same question was now
Go-
different
go-
type
Wow.
to type. So what now happens is that students go look and say, okay, you not type B and I want copy you B. So they won't shade because your answer sheet they go tell you say maybe you shade what type
Yeah.
be your question paper. So they won't shade what they are typing. They will shade the type of who they are copying. So if they are copying, if I copy you and you are type A, they will shade type A on their own answer booklet.
Oh shoot!
You know what I mean?
Fuck.
So
Bro.
the question book where they give them is useless.
Yeah.
You get so they just did.
Obviously,
Yo,
you are
that's
changing
crazy.
the script.
Yes,
So
sir.
I was not copying. They go just
Yeah.
change your
Wait,
time.
but I don't know this thing.
Bro.
No, it didn't.
That's hard, man.
It didn't exist
Oh, no,
during
no,
my
this
own.
is-
Which one?
Bro.
It didn't exist during my own era.
That's hard,
Nah, you
man.
don't know.
Guy,
Bro.
1991.
No, this thing.
Person don't do jam.
Man.
1991.
That was what
Oh, yo, I didn't know that,
Yes,
man.
now they drum.
I didn't do jam in
That's what people used to do.
1991.
Even when people would go
Yo.
to, bro, even people that did
You don't
jam.
know.
You know there were
How
people.
wetin they go
You
do
know there were
now?
people that did jam in special centers.
Yes, now.
Even people that did jam in special centers, right?
No, I didn't know that, man.
The
Oh, yeah, they
question booklets where they give them.
Now in the
Is inconsequential.
Yes.
The people that did jam, not why I could jam in special
Just now
centers.
the type for
They
that.
always passed
that
in those
OBJ.
special
Question booklet they
OBJ
give them
paper.
is useless.
Nah,
The
in-
answer they bring, they will go share the type.
Yes.
Bro.
So the special center will arrange multiple types. Question.
I should have known this earlier, man. this information is at least 50 years late.
The one with you work.
Criminal
Years
mind.
late, man.
If I be jam director, the one with you work be, I go put your name with that question paper.
That one is impossible to do.
How
It's
is it
impossible to do. Do
how?
you know how many students register jam every year? So that means
So, yeah.
you have to like pick everybody's name and
It's
put
not
on
impossible.
each
Yeah.
question paper.
It's just a lot of work, but
It's a lot of work, and then put on each answer booklet as well.
You know, someone mentioned that you know, for Jam, I think one of the best things they've done this year, I think it started last year as well. Who did knock hammer for this thing studio? Is that I think if you write Jam this year, I'm not quite sure if that's actually operating now, but if you write Jam this year, you can use the results for 2.
I don't think they put in operation.
No, it's not-
And
it's
that's
not-
something
it's
that should
not.
be. And that's something that they don't need to even tell anybody
Yeah, it's
that
just
you
common
should do
sense.
that.
Yeah, it's just
But
common
the
sense.
problem is that Jam, it was also like Jam was more or less a
Revenue.
a
Yeah,
revenue
revenue
generation.
making.
Because at the end of the
Everything is
day,
revenue in Nigeria.
you get because at the end of the day, if you are done with secondary school, right? And okay, yeah, you do WAEC, it's fine, O level, so that's calm.
Yeah.
There's nothing stopping you from trying to get entrance exams of different universities. Do you get me? So as opposed to doing JAMB and then doing Post-UTME, what's the point? Because now JAMB is a revenue for the government, Post-UTME is a revenue for the schools.
Because even UI was doing something like
Do you
that.
understand?
So
Why are
write,
you-
You write jam, you pass, but you get into UI and you still do another exam.
Yeah, all the schools now.
Yeah.
What's the point of Post-UTME again?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Anyway, you know, someone mentioned say if you know there is a woman behind every successful man, imagine having 5 women. You know? That's you know,
A Casanova.
Is
That's
that-
from a
is-
Casanova
is that-
right
is
there.
that-
That Casanova.
That's a Casanova right there.
is that a bad one, right? Is that a bad one? I did see something. You know, I've always wondered what people mean when they say, "I'm just a girl." You know, you're speaking to a baby and say, "I'm just a girl." You know, I'm just a girl. And like, what exactly does that mean? Like, you know, I'm just a girl. Like, have I ever told you that you're not a girl before or something like that? So it's
It's
just
to her advantage now. She's letting you know.
no. It's just it doesn't quite.
Nah.
Gives her leverage, I guess.
Never understood it.
Say, I'm just a girl.
Never understood it before. Never understood
It's a
it.
woman's world.
It's
innit?
it's leverage now.
No,
It's
no. I
leverage.
think
yeah.
it's
Be a gentleman.
I think it's so obviously it's bants is a nice way to you know sorting things up. But yeah, I was just gonna start off the show today with mentioning that you know one of the things we're gonna do today is you know touch base on you know the team of the season, what we feel some of the best players in the season have been, who has been you know outstanding, who surprised you most this season, you know manager of the season kind of thing, and of course we'll touch base on the Champions League final, which is on Saturday rather.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, call it curtains closed for what has been a really good season. I want to start off with what we saw last night. You know, Chelsea, you know, playing in this Conference League final. I saw a quote from somebody said, the top 3 leagues in the world, you know, your Premier League, your La Liga, and Serie A should not be having teams, you know, in
This
in the
much
Conference League.
in the Conference League. Because
Okay.
then it sort of like defeats the purpose of that league. You know,
Being
it's sort of like when Europa League had that thing where once you get third in group stage, you knock out into it. Never made sense to me,
Yeah.
and I was very happy when they abolished it. Like you know,
Makes sense,
you've played
yeah.
your own tournament already.
Why you
You
coming
know,
here?
why are you coming here to
coming-
come and
yeah.
bully everybody? We know that the reason that you are there means that your class is you know
Higher.
quite
Yeah.
higher.
Yeah.
I thought it made sense to think about it that way because at the moment, you know, Premier League teams might win Europe Conference. You know, Jose Mourinho made a prediction
At the beginning,
this season,
that it's gonna be
He said,
Premier League
Man U,
teams,
Tottenham,
yeah. Yeah.
Europa League finals.
One of them,
finals.
yeah.
One of them will win it. And there's something you could say is luck, but there's something he knows about the dimension,
Quality.
Yeah.
quality,
It's
right?
quality.
And I think even Amorim said as well that in the Europa League, it's just the sheer pace of how we play Premier League. We just dominate teams easy. I mean, the way United dispatched Athletic Bilbao.
Yep.
Yeah, I know there was a record,
But now the game make the red card come.
But that game was relatively very easy.
Hard work is a talent.
So I think during the Fergie era, even before Fergie, when we were watching football, then what I know is that the Europa League is not where you have Man U's try to play their whole, normal first 11. You always see Fergie use it for, young players, let them have playing time.
Europa League.
Yeah,
never played Europa League.
He never played.
No, Fergie played the Europa League.
No, he never played Europa League.
Against Bilbao. Go and check. Down with
He
Bilbao.
did, right?
Down with Bilbao beat them for Europa League. Go check him now. Fergie played.
I'm
Was
okay.
good.
Yeah,
I
go
don't
on.
know.
So-
Go.
Must have been the UEFA Cup.
So then,
Maybe before they change it to Europa League. It might be the UEFA Cup.
I'm just thinking.
It might be that UEFA Winners' Cup.
I never
something.
watched Fergie
The
for.
Europa
I never
League,
watched. Hold on.
When they don't
Hold
name
on.
him Europa League.
Yes.
Simple.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know that Fergie
Either Europa League or UEFA
finished
Cup.
outside top 4
Yeah, that's
before.
what I'm saying now.
No, he
See,
didn't play Europa League.
since I'm going to watch Fergie,
Fergie coached in Europa League now.
relax. Abiki, relax.
Go on.
Abiki, relax.
You get internet.
Since I'm beginning to watch Fergie teams,
Yeah, check only.
Check
I
out.
never know if Fergie finished fifth for Premier League.
Bilbao, now Bilbao,
it could
even
be-
now
Because
Bilbao
you don't say
jam.
Europa League
Now
or
Bilbao,
UEFA Cup. It could be different.
now Bilbao
it could be
jam. It's still the
different
same
rules.
tournament now.
The UEFA Cup
Now
was
Bilbao-
the, was
It was the
champion.
same. They just changed it. No,
They just
UEFA
changed
Cup
the
is
name.
the
No, it
Europa
was
League.
Cup
Oh,
Winners'
I understand what you're
Now
saying.
Bilbao
I understand
jam
what
for that
you're
Europa
saying.
League.
No, we probably finished third in the group phase and jumped into Europa League. I get what you're saying.
Okay.
Yes, now my own be saying now
Yeah.
Bilbao jam for that Europa League.
I get what
Okay,
you're saying.
okay,
I get what you're
okay,
saying. No,
possible.
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
So then
When the rule was
then
still
you
there,
have
yeah.
then you have, let's say, teams like Atletico Madrid. Okay, Atletico they can't for it, but most Premier League teams that they
Sevilla,
find themselves in the Europa League, they soften. They don't. It's not a priority
Before, but now-
but now it seems
Everywhere don't choke.
every tournament, like Mourinho was saying that even at this point, Community Shield you go count them as
Yeah,
trophy,
IBK is right.
The way they go
Bielsa was
the
Bilbao's
coach
coach.
from-
Yeah. In 2012.
He had to
Yeah.
be dropping from the Champions League.
But, I mean, but
So I think now what has changed is the fact that the competition has gotten more intense. Teams are now looking for whatever way to convince the owners, the fans that we've had a successful season.
Exactly.
Back in the days, you can't win the Europa League
And say it's
and
progress.
tell me you have succeeded that season.
So
Yeah,
I
it
think-
was- it was a non-starter.
Yeah, a lot of things
It was.
have changed.
It's the way
We
they- I
can't
think-
talk about Europa League. What are we talking about?
Exactly.
I think
yeah, so
for me, I think you are right in the sense that things have changed. That these big teams are using these second-class tournaments to try and prop up,
Start padding.
start padding. It's true, but there's also the side of I think that the possibly because of the competitive nature of the Premier League, right? When some of those big teams don't measure up in the Premier League, the rule says they have to go to these other tournaments, right? But when they go there, they seem to have overpowered. So it's down to like Premier League is so competitive in the sense that when you leave it and go to these second-class tournaments, you look like you are the best of the best, right? Since the rule says you have to go there if you don't meet up this particular standard, right? So, and there are also some of those teams where the level they are at that moment in time. For example, if United won the Europa League, it would have been a good trophy for them to win. Because of new managers coming in, we're trying to build something.
Only to go to Champions League. Only
Only-
to go to Champions League. Only because of Champions
Yeah,
League.
they won't see
only
that way
to
anyway.
go to the
They'll still
Champions
see it as a
League.
trophy, bro.
But
With
yeah,
the way
they'll
the-
see, exactly.
with the
They'll
way
see-
the-
With the way it is now, they will celebrate it.
No, I don't think. I don't think so. I think that even when Mourinho won it, right, the only reason it was a thing was because he won the Champions League.
No, I think
that
they'll
was before, not now.
they will celebrate it.
They will
No,
celebrate
of course,
it
no,
now.
of course,
But
you're not saying now.
is-
You win a trophy, you celebrate for something.
Yeah, if I
But that's
because you
where
are
it
going
ends.
because
See
you are
the way
going to the
Spurs, they
Champions
celebrate
League.
Europa
No,
League.
come on now. Spurs,
they haven't won in 17
They haven't
years.
won
I
in
mean,
a
I
long
want-
time.
Spurs and United are
See the
different
way
level
Chelsea
now.
they celebrate.
Guys,
They
I want
haven't
to- I want to
relaxed.
disagree with you
Yes,
guys.
they see the way Chelsea celebrate. You
Chelsea
see na
wasn't
Champions
celebrating.
League.
So
Hold on.
as they collect the
Can I
title,
just
they're
talk?
supposed to do
Now,
straight.
I want to disagree with you guys in terms of there was a time Sevilla was dominating the Europa League
League,
now.
yeah.
And nobody was saying what we're saying now, where the English teams were struggling that period.
They were not struggling.
And
Because that was their level.
They
didn't want to.
Hold on now. Hold
They
on.
did not want to.
Dude,
No, it's not.
invest in
No,
that
Atletico,
tournament.
no,
hold on.
it's not.
Atletico,
No.
Atletico
If they
Madrid,
wanted it, they
hold
would
on
push
now,
for
bro.
it too.
Atletico Madrid too won a couple with that period too. So the Spanish sides were dominating the second tier of
They were.
European cups.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the buying power of the Premier League teams is much higher now, of course, and the league is the most entertaining, it's the most watched, and of course, the amount of top level managers that coach in Europe, most of them are in the Premier League around. It's not just even the English coaches they take from everywhere now.
How many English coaches?
Exactly, or the Portuguese. But if you look at this Spanish league, it's mostly Spanish coaches, and the German league is mostly German coaches as well. Not many foreigners, but so that's why it even comes a bit more cosmopolitan for the league. So I think that buying power and also that part where those coaches that come with that attitude of, I'm not looking at it like, oh, I have to win the Premier League, I have to win the Champions League. Any competition I'm in, I must go for it. So I always say that Jose Mourinho was one of the people that changed the ideology when he joined Chelsea in 2004. The League Cup was nothing, and it was like, and they interviewed him, I remember, but not word for word. And it was like, any cup, this team has not won anything major in 50 years. Any cup that we're going in serious. I'm starting Drogba, I'm starting Lam. So everybody, and so Wenger that was on the sideline, I was starting the kids and the under-18s and the reserve team. Started looking at,
but you know, the reporter,
not that serious. But now, all of them are looking at the Carling Cup and Community Shield as trophies.
But you know, the rebuttal to that would be that at the time Mourinho came to Chelsea were not on the level of United, the level of Arsenal, you know, the level of
Liverpool.
So at that time, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man U, they're looking at, why am I looking at Carabao Cup and everything? Our level is the Premier League, and we're going to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
So it was okay. Jose would have been right to say we'll take anything we get now.
I think other clubs
start building
suit, because Klopp celebrated Carabao Cup and FA Cup.
That's why I said.
Bus tour, open bus tour.
That's why I said depending on the level. I think for some of these big
Liverpool were
clubs
down
now,
bad for a long time.
So I think those are the things that change the mindset.
So
of
when
like,
Liverpool were down,
any competition we're
so
going
when
to
Liverpool
now,
were down too, for example,
it's a trophy to
they
be
will
won.
take the FA Cup. They will take it when they were down. So that's why I'm of the opinion that it's because of the level the club. Like what I would say, however, and I don't know if UB is going, you know, there, is what I would disagree with is, you know, when a club like that, say for example Chelsea now winning the Conference League, and you then want to use that and say our season has been better than that of Arsenal.
It can be.
You get, that's where I'll be like, no, relax.
Yeah.
The reason you are playing the Conference League in the first place is because you are not on their level.
Yeah.
They're on a higher level. Mm-hmm. That's why you are there in the first place.
Yeah.
So you then can't win it and come and say, inside your own club as a fan, you can say, yes, my season is more enjoyable.
What if
than
another
Arsenal
angle
fan
is that
season.
Chelsea should have been in the Europa League, but because United won FA Cup,
That's it. The level.
Now you find yourself for that level.
But that should have could have, you know, ifs and I think what Ryan makes is important.
some
you know,
fair, some would say.
so on a purely banter level, we throw facts away and just banter. You get, we don't win trophy. Show me show me what you
Show me your trophy. They say
purely banter.
European trophy. But this guy say the one. Declare right. See where you put ball.
You get, if we make it serious, no, I don't think any of, even if United won it, the Europa League, I don't think any of United, Tottenham, Chelsea can say to Arsenal, we've had a better season than you.
You get.
It's not possible.
You get.
I think, and this is a show where we're wrapping up the season, and I think I'm just going to jump ship a little bit and say that the most dominant moment of the season is that Arsenal Real Madrid first leg. Yeah. I don't think there's any game that I've seen in the last 2-3 years.
The only game
that I've been like, what am I looking at?
The only game that
what are we looking at here? Like,
the only game that I eclipsed this season is Barça Inter Milan.
I had to say that. I was going to say that.
No other game.
Honestly, yeah, of course, that game eclipses it. But to some level, to some degree,
I even think that's now
to some degree.
I think that's now.
I
expected
Inter and Barca, they were.
Yeah, they go fight them out.
They're sort of like on par.
No guy,
right?
Arsenal they lead Madrid 3-0, bro.
2 free kicks, bro.
Not the free kick.
See, that's two free kicks, right? In the moment I was watching the game, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like they can rise drop ball, play free kick. Another 10 minutes, drop another ball, play another free kick. Against Courtois, I was thinking like, what am I looking at here?
It's the pinnacle of their season,
so it's not even the pinnacle of the season. I think that in this season's Champions League, or in club football generally, I have to agree that the Inter Milan Barcelona game would not be eclipsed in a long time,
bro.
Right,
it's the best
one hell of a game.
It's the best game in Europe I've seen.
I've seen in a long time.
Keep quiet there.
But we waste time.
But yeah,
17 years old.
He's a 17-year-old kid.
Down.
See that the way they tell IBK say, once you want to give him a new contract, don't give him the. Now they've made him the highest paid in their.
No, it's not highest paid yet.
No, that the new contract.
Until
The
he's
contract,
18
he would.
We will sign him when he's 18.
When
No,
he's
he
18,
will sign
yeah.
it with 18.
Yeah, they've given him
but
the
his contract
contract
will
already.
keep rising every year
Okay.
until he hits 18 million pounds.
Guy,
That's
that
what I
boy,
hear.
that
Okay.
boy, for 2031,
I think
that
that's
boy,
only
that
fair, to
boy,
be
will be-
honest.
that boy will be 23 years old, bro.
He's lit. Bro,
Why,
it's
tell us what?
amazing.
For 2031, that
Yeah.
boy will be
In
23.
10 years, he will be 27. In 10 years.
So
He'll be in his prime.
So what I
He's not
think,
yet in his prime.
what I think
That's
is
the
this.
thing.
I don't get
Relax.
I don't get scared with things like, you know why?
You get
Because
me too, I don't.
Because-
any of I go finish you now. Any of you now.
Why you not finish it now?
Why you don't finish it?
Why you not finish it time?
Lami Yamal.
You know this is where
Lamide-
IBK, you need to
Lamide
understand.
Jamal.
You see the way Lami Yamal is playing now.
No
Nah,
call out to
Lamide-
Fati
nah,
Cup.
Lamide
At 17.
That boy.
At 17.
Nah, so now go carry jazz, go.
At 17, there's a chance.
Go put jazz on that
There's
boy
a
boot.
chance now, and the next 2 years is his prime.
See,
Even at
honestly,
17.
I'm not,
Baba, no
I'm
carry
not,
jazz,
I'm
enter
not
that
worried
boy.
about
Because
it
we
like
talked about it a few episodes ago. You can get, see, when you play this game at this level, at this young, this much, you can get mentally fatigued.
so-
You
Man,
can-
don't be this
let's
boy.
not stop. I beg,
Don't
can
be
you bring
this
this topic?
boy.
this. So I want
Don't
to.
divert.
You don't see that in Papa, now proper gangster, they no agree. Where God
So,
don't help me. You gonna
I want to tie this into
Lami Yamal, Moru.
you know
IBK, don't do that.
You know-
Lamide
Lamide
Jamal.
Get that Lami Yamal. This was small Ghana.
You don't do
You know
now.
this guy called that Ghana show for my front here. That's stupid Ghana show. You know this guy called Ghana show for here? For this same podcast. That superstar kid that waiting to come. No, wait, which name you never called Ghana show for here?
Let's say you get to podcast where they do. This one, that one, for like.
If I said that, then
I know they talk. I know you
I
hear.
lied.
Right. But I wanted to talk about Isco just for a moment, and I made a tweet yesterday, and I'm actually very sad that I haven't signposted Isco for in the previous years, because honestly, being very honest. Every time we've sat down here on this table and spoken about one of the greats in the number 10 role, right? You know, your KDBs, your Ozils, you know, we've spoken about Santi Cazorla as being one as well. I've always, in the back of my mind, I always say Isco should be there in that conversation, right? For whatever reason, I haven't brought it up. But when I was watching Isco at Madrid with Marcelo Ronaldo Ramos, I thought there were 4 big game players at Madrid. Isco was one of them. Marcelo is probably the biggest big game player I've ever seen, right? Cristiano, of course, and Ramos as well.
No, Gary Bale too.
Bro.
Not as consistent
No,
as those guys, but yeah.
no, this guy's level. But I thought that what we saw yesterday was important to remember the player we saw.
Like,
right?
there's still a number 10 in
You know,
here.
and people talk about the number 10 role as it's disappearing. I don't think the role has disappeared. I think that if you are good enough to, at that level, the manager will find a number 10 role for you in the team. This is what I believe. The role Isco played yesterday was the purest number 10 role I've ever seen in a long time.
Yeah.
You know, when you see players play number 10 role these days, you see like Bruno doesn't play number 10 like that. He's a number 10,
Bruno is
but he
like
comes and
a-
plays sitting, sometimes you go right.
Bruno sometimes just plays
A bit more direct.
Nah, it's
What I saw
usually
yesterday was a reminder of what Ozil was doing back in
Yeah.
Real Madrid.
It was similar
Pop
to a
up,
faster
pop up,
Requelme.
Pop up
as
at
well.
anywhere.
Yeah.
I am literally giving the ball here.
Yeah.
I'm going to make the game
Yeah,
happen. That's literally what you call play making. And
Yeah.
sometimes people say, oh, playmaker has to play from the base of midfield, or he has to play from the 6 or play from the 4. The playmaker in the team, right, can be a number 10. Because I saw Isco taking the ball from places where I'm like, you know what, let's take the ball, and for that next 2 minutes, 3 minutes, he's going to play from there.
Oh yeah, he played like a Perlo, like a prime Perlo, like a deep line
Honestly,
playmaker. But he burnt out at
No,
34
of
years
course.
old. I saw him at some point intercepting the ball from Cole Palmer in Real Betis box, you know, and driving and dictating play. Real Betis lost that game because Isco got tired. Everything was going through him, you know. And as you said, you know, it's the last of a dying breed of number 10s, the natural, pure
I agree.
number 10. But
I put him
old
up there
man,
with,
the lungs were gone.
I put him with
Gasket
Ozil.
don't almost born.
Cazorla.
No, wait.
Just get
Before they
born.
drag you.
No, I'm
Wait,
serious. I'm
before
serious.
they drag you. So
Then
I think
plenty.
in terms of
Honestly,
I think in terms of ability,
Technically,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
think you
yeah,
can say that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Osimhen
yeah,
is
yeah.
that-
Nice talk.
yeah.
They're
I
very
think
close to
in
Modric,
no,
too.
I think in terms of
Exactly.
ability,
Close to Modric.
I think in
doubt.
terms of ability, like technical abilities, you get talent as
Yeah.
Sabi play boys, Sabi play like.
But that's not enough.
None of these guys, we know
That's
say
not
no,
enough to
they,
compare
but now
them.
what would they talk about now? Be that relax.
Not the
That's not enough
qualities.
to compare them, Sha.
Though, like because when you see him handle the ball, and that was why yesterday, it wasn't surprising because
Nah.
across the field, nobody has played on the level he has played on. Like
PLS.
Madrid,
Yeah.
back-to-back Champions League. No, like he was gliding through the game. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing you
As
As
want.
if Caicedo
That's
was
the word.
struggling
No,
in the
he
first
was
half.
struggling like
The
They
word
couldn't
is
mark him.
nobody could come
nobody
close to
could
him.
touch it. Like
Was
he
hard.
felt like
Close to
he
him,
was
like-
faster than everybody. He felt like everybody was slowing down. Like he was that good. And I think the thing for me is that it's usually difficult to now compare because obviously this generation there's a lot of focus on numbers, assist goals,
Exactly.
assist goals.
Yeah.
So when those are not there, people don't reach. So this is one way they take and compare. How many goals he even score? All those guys, that's why like when the day we were talking about Riquelme and people were like, Riquelme was one of the. So those things always appear.
Pablo Aimar.
Or those kind of. I remember like we talk about midfielders. We even hardly measure someone like Totti, for example. Who
Costa.
Yeah, put on
Totti is. You will never find a player like him again.
I saw a video.
Shouldn't
Sorry, I
forget.
saw a video.
Can't forget.
The guy was talking about young strikers and things like that, and spoke about Del Piero in a funny way.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't speak about Del Piero like that.
Is it Del Piero? Abi? Is Del Piero?
No,
now?
that's the
Del
video.
Piero.
That was Del Piero. Like, I'm like, how can? I'm like, you know what? That's the end of
You
the.
can't
that's-
believe they
you
know watch. They know.
can't-
They
you
know.
see-
you see-
They know. They
which
know
is
what
also
Del
the risk.
Piero-
Sorry, guys. Which is the risk Lamar runs at the time at
Yeah.
the moment as well. If you put Lamar and Olise at Bayern Munich stats together, Olise trumps his stats this season.
Yeah. I think
But-
he did.
yeah, of course.
I think even Rafinha
Oh,
in the same team beats his
of course,
stats. I think,
easy.
But now in age, now
Easy.
you make people.
No,
They-
see, it's not about the age. In football, I agreed here.
There's
In
no
football,
more age.
in
This-
football,
this one
if you are
Sabi
good
play
enough, you are ready to play. You understand? What I'm saying is that if Lamine Yamal continues on the same sort of numbers, he has maybe goal involvement, maybe highest 30 or maybe highest 25, something like that this season. That's not close to Olise at Bayern Munich.
It's
Right.
not a lot.
That's not close to Patrick Kluivert at Bournemouth this season, right? But what we saw in our eyes,
We know say this
boy in a
is
one-on-one.
the like if not
You don't
the
need
best
to put
player in the
stats.
world at the moment.
You don't need to
Jonathan,
put
I know-
stats. Watch the game.
That's
Yeah.
the risk.
Yeah.
So when you say, I say Isco, and you immediately you drop and
You
say,
want to drop-
stats. No.
Watch this game.
Watch the game.
But what that guy is
That's
doing, you have to understand like football can be football is hard. When you're playing with professionals like that, you see that video of Osimhen playing with his guys. At that level, for you to be able to toy with professional players like that, is next level. Like the guy was playing like, no worry, now fine, I'm making
Yes,
relax.
Then
Yeah,
just-
Give me the ball.
what's
It's
happening?
experience.
He go
Yeah,
dribble,
for
come
sure.
up for here. He
Yes,
go.
man. But he doesn't have the lungs
See the
of
goal
a
they scored. See the
Modric.
goal they scored. If it was another person, possibly mess up that thing. Don't carry the ball, go here. Everybody thought he wants to shoot or something.
As in,
Exactly.
fine pass.
Put it on
Yeah.
the plate for the guy that scored.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just thought it was important to mention Isco as one of those players that if you didn't watch Isco play, maybe yesterday was a nice reminder of who
Yeah.
Isco was.
For example, something I'll just finish with Totti, for example. If you
Yeah.
didn't watch him play, when he
Yeah.
was going to retire, did you see what?
They know they expect all those
Hardly,
kinds.
hardly
those
would
kinds
you
of ballers.
watch. Have you ever seen a footballer make people feel like that before?
Yes, now they know
Bro,
they explain.
Like people were
That video,
crying.
it was like
that
a god
video,
now.
that video
people
of
were
him
crying
retiring.
in the
God.
stadium.
Like a
I saw the
god
video.
now.
He was sitting on the staircase like this,
Bro.
I was literally like, I was having goosebumps.
People, do you know what it takes for a footballer to make people
That's
cry?
the way Roman don't know how they go take
Francesco.
tell and make it come out.
Bro, Totti was a
They travel
Totti,
back home.
my
They
God.
travel
Best
without
players.
him.
One of the best players I've ever seen
Ever.
play this game.
So there are two videos that are
He benched Del Piero in
bro.
that 2006 World
World
Cup.
Cup, yeah.
Because
And
I think
for-
Lippi had to make that decision to
And
say,
for
you
good
know what?
value.
Yeah, because there
Totti,
was always
my
that
God.
rivalry that
Number
Bush
10,
play.
There are
where
two
he
number
score
10, but
goal, where he
Totti.
play pass, where he dribble,
So
where
Del Piero
strong.
even accepted
I
that. You
thought
know
it
what?
make me know say they
Go
always
on.
put person name for their for
Bro,
captain.
Totti
captain
could do,
armband, they
Totti
go
could
put
do
him like
everything.
this.
Dribble,
Totti's-
score, long range
God.
shots,
Everything,
free kick,
sir.
pass,
Everything.
nothing.
Everything.
Totti people ball for his legs.
Everything.
How much shot?
Ah,
Boom.
God.
I saw him on. I think I saw him on the overlap. I saw him on the video overlap, and he was speaking about. And I think he was saying something about Messi coming. Say Messi should come and win the Serie A with Roma. You know,
Bro.
something like that. And you know, when you're speaking to the top players, there was no pushback.
Yes,
Yeah.
no.
You know, there was no pushback. There was no like the people know who this guy was.
Because they knew how good this guy was.
They knew how
Everybody
this guy
wanted to buy him.
was, like-
He decided to
Yeah.
remain at
Yeah,
Roma.
yeah.
Everybody wanted
he
to
almost
sign him.
left at some point.
Yeah.
But
Everybody
Real
said, I'm a
Madrid.
woman.
Real Madrid
And
gone
for him,
twice
yeah, and for him
also.
to be a World Club man, that's what took away from his
Yeah.
global
Yes,
recognition. Because
yes,
if Totti
yes.
had played for Madrid,
Yeah.
Baba, don't
Don't
worry,
finish.
nobody will
Don't
go
finish.
come near say
Don't
name.
finish.
Yeah.
Don't finish.
Top.
He would have been on maybe same level with
Now they
Zidane.
forget another person.
They might have not even signed
We be
Zidane.
mad
You
number
You get
10.
possibly. Who?
Seedorf.
No.
Well, Seedorf is almost
Yeah,
like-
Seedorf is another guy, bro.
I don't
know when you watch
Clarence.
Seedorf back now, you're like,
Bro,
this
I
guy was
Clarence.
just
Bro,
good.
Seedorf come
Solid.
like that for that UCL this thing. They just play 3 aside. Though.
No, people sabi play ball.
I
man.
say this guy is in a ball like this.
People
He's
sabi
very-
play ball.
Ah,
And you know it's very.
I follow him on
And you know he's very
He's
fit.
constantly
He
training.
dey fitter
He's
than
very
all of his
fit.
majority of his peers.
He's
gold.
super fit.
So he
His
dey play.
training regime is
He dey play. He be like
ridiculous.
this Zero Roberto guy. Zero Roberto be like body. Zero Roberto be like saying a martial artist.
Roberto
50-something
or
year-
Bayern
Are you
Munich.
not
Yeah,
seeing-
yeah.
are you not
Yes,
seeing
50-something-year-old man.
Fernando Torres?
Eh,
I'm a
And like,
football
why did you do
no
this to
fit
yourself?
again, man.
Torres is like
Ozil too.
incredible.
Ozil.
Ozil,
Ozil
yo,
And Ozil too.
We'll fight this Friday. Maybe they watch Rashford. Nonsense.
you know. And by the way, people should pay that 40 million.
babe, Rashford will do well for you guys.
I'm
You've
sure.
seen it.
No, I think he would.
Boy,
Because your league is no, Baba, Rashford will come there and score 40 goals. Oh.
Easy.
Reach 40 goals.
Because your league is a little slower than the Premier League. All those is where Rashford they do for Premier League. Don't put the ball for
They
him.
even
Why-
have money.
Why Anthony know that
Barcelona.
yesterday when he did yesterday?
Why Anthony no do all those is where they do yesterday?
9 installments.
Why Anthony
They
no
don't
do all
bomb
those
us.
is
Oh,
where they
guess
do for La
what?
Liga
Guess what?
yesterday?
See, Kukurea, do like this.
Why Anthony no do all
Come
those
there.
is yesterday?
Manchester
Because
United
the
days,
league is-
Abi.
if Rashford come La
We need
Liga,
to talk about that game,
because
man.
It's
I
low.
want to analyze that game.
Which game?
Chai!
Which game be that?
That Betis
What do you want me
Chelsea.
to analyze?
What do you want to
No,
analyze?
What do you want to analyze?
Kukurea. What's Kukurea do
Say what I like
the
Betis.
the flamboyant,
For conference
the
league.
hardcore Anthony guy where everybody
Which not say hardcore.
see where see Kukurea do am.
Now
Sweet me die.
Now necessary PR now.
pocket
Person wey
am.
go Betis score how many goals? They say me I knew he wasn't going to do
I think
anything.
Kukurea didn't even go forward once. He
You know,
said,
say that final.
me and
eh,
you today.
Go pay Betis. Say therefore those.
No, because they would have won their first title in.
Yeah.
I was
Lost
I was
very
actually sad for them.
Lost very
And
blank.
go pay Man U too. That final go pay Man U. I want to say now that final we supposed to see you say where.
Say with
How you
you.
can go Lano?
No.
Now you for use buy player.
No, Anthony is.
No, Anthony now.
No, Anthony is going to be a basis.
Where the money?
He wants to go now.
No,
No,
they don't
he
fit
will
pay.
be there.
They'll probably play
Pellegrini
half.
don't talk now. They can't afford him.
They
That's
will
the
do a
truth.
deal. You know wait.
You know, you-
wait
you-
now.
you
He
know-
no
you know
talk
that
say that. He no
yeah.
talk
But-
say that. No fit afford that.
Best way they from 150 Betis
didn't
go
say.
that far.
I wanna. Enrique,
They go collect 20.
try this serious now. I want to speak about Chelsea and in summing up Chelsea season and what we've
Already.
what kind of season it's been, and I'm going to start with Rufai, especially. I saw Chelsea fans, and people always say, "Oh, why do you always reference Chelsea fans on Twitter?" But when I do that, I don't reference one supporter. What I do on my Twitter is I go to I'm constantly on my following page. I don't go to the For You tab.
For you.
Right. If I a lot of nonsense there, right?
For you is
So I go to my following tab and I see sensible people sort of thing. And the summation of what I've seen is that there is a big divide. It's almost like there is a 55%. If this guy goes, we really don't mind. If this guy stays, make we dey watch him. You get that's what I sense with Chelsea fans and Maresca, right? And I think you can also sense the what's the word? You can also sense the not animosity, but the pushback when he says "f you," in the press conference. Like this is, you can almost tell that he recognizes that they don't maybe appreciate the work he has done. That he's constantly on the edge. Like every other game, he needs to prove like that he deserves to be here. Where are you with that as far as the job is done?
I think any Chelsea fan that thinks that Maresca needs to go needs to have his head examined. Like honestly, and that's not because I agree with the guy on many things, But even for example, in the game yesterday, going to a final and say you have to win it, and then you went and used your second string defense line. That could have been too late, Even though you played the game 48 hours before then. So, but like I've always said, if the guy leaves, what are you going to do? Who are you going to bring in? What's then going to be the transfer policy of the guy you're bringing in now? It's a lot of work to
They can't even
go
try
through
that.
the process again. And also because, according to what the guy has said, when I was going to be hired, they gave me 2 years, we have to get back to the Champions League. He's gotten it in the first year, right? And he's won the Conference League along with it. Conference League, for me, is inconsequential, but you take the feel good.
And
You
for
tell
history.
the feel good factor.
The history
Yeah, you
part
have
of
won
things,
all
too.
the but
Yeah.
and then because that's the youngest team across the league in the history of the Premier League, to play in the Premier League. That Chelsea team.
Yeah.
So if you make the top 4 and then you win this one, okay, you take it. It's a young team, all that. You can't. You if you fire the guy now or the guy leaves
can't.
now, I think it's a disaster. I don't agree with Poch on a lot of things. I didn't want them to hire him. The moment they hired him, I didn't want him to leave after one season. Because you have to build something. You have to build something. You have to build something. And it looks like a lot of the players they're coming into what he wants to do. So why would you let him
That's
go and
Maresca.
then bring so why would you let him go and then bring someone else? And by what he said the objective was when he was hired, he's had a good season.
Yeah.
I think he's had a good season.
I think so too. From what we've seen, these guys, Clear Lake, Todd Bowley and the likes, bought this club exactly 3 years ago, May 2022. you
Right.
know, and we know what happened now. This is their first trophy, and young side, yes, they spent over 1 billion pounds in total, but as expected, many Chelsea fans expected us to win the Conference League. If he didn't win it, Maresca, then
Yeah,
been a
you would have
problem.
seen that divide.
Yeah, that divide
would have been
come
more
out.
because there's
We
that
said
divide
it.
for real. There are those who
So-
just don't, for some reason, they just be like this guy,
No,
this
don't
guy,
like
this
him.
guy, this
Yeah,
guy.
so eventually,
I saw a tweet yesterday.
I think
I'm gonna find it.
for an Italian, I think I have to go back to this. Most Italians have done well at Chelsea, history-wise, from Gianluca Vialli to
Don
Ranieri, Don Carlo, Antonio Conte, Di Matteo. We just have a very good history with Italian coaches at Chelsea, and they win stuff, and that's the beauty of it also. But they also tinker a lot. The tinker man out of them all has always been Ranieri, you know. But one thing I've noticed about Maresca is he has done that a lot this season. And the whole part of playing Reece James as an inverted mid DM, at some point he started playing him as a DM and playing Gusto, or maybe playing Josh Achipong as a right back. It was too much tinkering, and the second half of the season we started seeing that Chelsea was not as consistent as they were in the first
Yeah, I
half.
think that's why some of those people who
So
don't
that's
like
why-
him don't
exactly,
like him. They're like, why is this person playing here?
Why
is this person-
are we constant? All of a sudden, we're second, being contenders. You blew that away and say, no, we're never contenders. Okay, that mind game doesn't work. It backfires. Okay, we have injuries. Then you start over tinkering. But one thing I'll give him, the credit I'll give him, is the final 6 games, the push for that top 4, top 5, if you want to call it that, was incredible from Maresca. We were just a different side. A lot of maturity had come
Thanks to
about from
Garnacho.
You don't let this Garnacho
a lot of maturity had come into play for me, and you know, out of 6 games, we won 5, and
No, but that was
going
really
to-
good. But
going to
again,
Forest was a big one, and he
Yeah.
did that. So
Yeah.
I hats off for him. 7 out of 10 for me, I'll say.
no, I agree with I think that you can really understand some qualities of a team, of a group, when there is something on the target. You get the last 7 games, I think they won 6, something like that. That's to race to that finish by hook or crook, get the job done.
Exactly.
Right?
Mentality.
There is. I appreciate managers that can, what we've been doing since is great, but now this is the target.
The Nottingham
We have to get there.
The Nottingham Forest game, right, is the game where
That's the best game I've
it's the
seen
game
us
I
play.
now totally respected the guy.
Under him,
You know
that's
why?
the best game I've seen him
Because
play.
every game, even since under Poch, every game we have played against Nottingham Forest, Brentford, Bournemouth, Fulham, those teams that are very good at mid-low blocks.
Brighton.
And then hit you on the counter. And if we don't lose, we draw. If we don't lose, so he went into that game because it was a game he needed to win. He went into the game and gave Nottingham Forest the ball.
Ball. And he now started to
That's why I'm like, okay,
Adarabio, you know,
I
high
appreciate
balls.
that a lot. That you know that this game, we have to give them a game they don't like.
I think this year we've seen, and not because not just this year, but we've seen all the managers, right, that have always, preach this.
Hypocrisy.
We play our
We play
style,
like this.
it
We
was
play like this.
The first person was Klopp, 2019.
That's who we are, mate.
You get Klopp.
No, that
Klopp,
one you had to.
Klopp went to the
Say
final against Tottenham.
That's what we are, mate.
Scored that first goal. Defended
blocked
till the end
everywhere.
of the game. Right. And if he didn't do that, he would have won the Champions League in his life.
Do you understand?
Do you get? Ange went there,
Shameless. You
gave the game to United. He didn't hold the ball.
No, for play highline now.
That's right.
Once
Play the
that-
highline.
Highline.
Play him now.
He defend
understand?
the
Scored the
whole
first goal and
Second
listen,
half.
you understand?
second half.
So I hope that is clear to everybody, right?
When
that-
they want to win titles, they
yeah,
know
when
where
you
to
want
go.
to win something.
We have been saying it since now, but they were
No,
saying
but people don't
play
agree.
attractive.
People don't agree
play
now.
No,
sweet,
but people
entertaining.
agree. But if
All right.
Barcelona did one simple thing, right? We scored.
Just,
they'll be in the
just
final.
hold on to the ball. They will be in the final now.
They'll be in the final. You get.
Just hold on to the ball.
But this idea that we constantly and
You are leading 4-3. You are bringing in Lewandowski.
what are you doing?
You are going bam, 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 bam. You want to go and score 5. Okay, now.
And people can point to the fact and say, oh, Lewy almost scored. Yes, you almost scored, but you lost the game.
Yeah.
You get.
Should have taken the ball to the corner flag,
As in-
maybe.
You
But-
lost
Take the ball to the
Kill-
corner flag,
that's
keep it
the-
there.
the time off.
That's inexperience too.
Bro, if it
You
was
understand?
if it was 5 to 6 minutes left, bro, it was 2 minutes.
As
They
in-
gave you 5 minutes extra time. 3 minutes of those 5 minutes have been played.
As in, guy.
Bro. They say they don't want
Football.
to say they want
Lovely
to
fo-
say
lovely sport.
Araujo for
And you're leading 3-2.
For don't collect treble like this. Easy one.
That's it, pay that BK. You know, just be talking, I pay that. The next week, come. After I don't because I'll beat Inter easily.
I was here now.
I get Pianti. Anyway, so I think we touched on Chelsea. I want us to go into Champions League final, right? And touch base. I want to.
Lucho, my boy. I tell you now for here.
Alpha, relax.
I tell you now for here.
Pipe low, pipe low.
I think that even with it's funny we talk about Luis Enrique now because even
Now
he
we they call Lucho be that.
Lucho.
See, even the FX, they ask you, who is Lucho?
Who's Lucho?
Now Luis, they always call Lucho.
There was a Lucho Gonzalez now, no?
Yes, there was.
Who was it? Chelsea?
No. Lucho
Lucho Gonzalez to play for.
One
There was a
Trouble,
Lucho Gonzalez, Abi.
Yeah.
Was it Atletico Madrid? There was a Lucho Gonzalez.
There was a Lucho Gonzalez.
Was
Same
there?
Lucho for Inter.
It wasn't an
Wait, different-
Espanol.
No, that one at Lucio.
No, there was a Lucho Gonzalez.
I
It
think.
wasn't an Espanol or
think there was.
It
Sociedad.
could have been. I'm not going to remember.
Lucho plenty. Lucho
Yeah.
plenty.
This Lucho way they talk, he tall. He play as he even play for Liverpool.
I think I'm Benfica or something like that. Probably Benfica. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I want us to talk about Champions League final and see where where our mind is at, because I think that this year's Champions League is maybe the most globally accepted Champions League in a long time. Now this is not even hitting on Madrid or anything like that. Madrid are I think at Madrid are everybody aside Barca fans obviously. Madrid are everyone's next favorite club.
Yep.
I don't know if you agree with that, but
Everybody likes Madrid except Barcelona
you
fans.
don't have a choice.
You get.
I like them big, but nah, I don't send them.
You get like if United don't win a game, for example, right?
Yeah.
And there's
Why
a
would
team
you hate Madrid?
and there's a team in the final, you just support Madrid.
Why would you hate Madrid? Madrid beat Chelsea for 5. Like you can't even hate them. Why? Like
watch Madrid,
what reason would you have? If you're a Barcelona fan, I understand.
Why me I hate watch Madrid is more of you've won too much. You've won 15.
No,
That's exactly why we love
Get
also,
out.
there's also the
It's the year of the underdog.
a
For
lot
me.
of Ronaldo fans from
Nothing like
United
that, too.
left to
No, but
Madrid.
that's what happened this
You
season.
understand?
So
So
you are Madrid.
there's that thing.
They be guys.
Do you understand? The guys. But I think that Inter PSG is maybe the most balanced final in a long time.
Yeah.
We saw Liverpool Tottenham. We thought that was not balanced
Yeah,
at all.
saw Madrid.
We saw
That's the worst
Madrid.
final.
Dortmund, that was lopsided. We
That
knew that
was
was
lopsided.
who else did we see?
In recent
Inter-
years,
We saw
Inter, Man City,
PSG,
no,
Chelsea.
that was
Inter Man City said
Was equal.
going into the final, I felt like City were favorites.
Oh, City were favourites, yeah.
You get-
No,
yeah,
clear
but
favourite.
that
but that game,
That pattern
But
was
the
changed.
game, yes.
that game was very tight.
Yes.
Inter showed.
Inter showed that, but going into the game, everybody felt like City are going to. That's why people were even like, Inter, if people like say they go win,
Second
that's why I felt like a
Second
surprise.
final in 3 years.
You
You
know,
got to
yeah.
give a lot
Amazing.
for Inzaghi, man.
Of course.
So
I hear it's up to Saudi.
Inzaghi.
Nah,
They
I would
want
like
him now.
I would
They
like
want
him.
him.
I would like him
New-
to come
new-
to the
new-
They are
Premier League.
negotiating with him.
Saudi
Maybe
no dey-
he doesn't accept, but they are negotiating with
I
him.
like
They
him
really
to
want
come
him.
to
They're
the
offering him
Premier
some really, really
Saudi
I would like
they
him to
don't
go to
even
the
go
Premier
for old players or old this thing. Quality 9 they find now.
So, what are we looking at here? I do think that PSG are, for me, for the narrative around the club. I don't care about PSG like that. I couldn't care about France anyways. But I think that in terms of team sports, there is something that I like about what they've done with the team. I think that superstars are they make the game more interesting. Your Mbappe's, your Ronaldo, your Messi, and things like that. They make the game very interesting. But it's not often a coach says, "I die on this hill," and they go on to succeed. I think we've seen Jose do it. I think we've seen Ferguson do it before, and I think that's the soft spot I have for Enrique. There's a clear video of him saying, "You know what, we would be better without Kylian Mbappe next
Even
season."
before the end
Did
of
he
the
say
season.
we'll be better
Oh, yeah.
without
Yeah, he
him?
said even before the end of the season, you don't carry him
He told the
for the
owner,
team.
"They will better without."
Oh, there's a video where it's telling you.
Yeah, so
we're
we're
better
better
with-
without Kylian Mbappe.
Wow.
You understand? And I think there's also a video where he was telling Mbappe that
Where he
it's
was
great-
telling Mbappe what to
like,
do, yeah,
what to do and things like that. He was like, "It's good to you're the goal scorer,
Hard
you're
work,
the
hard work.
global superstar, but
Fall back
if
when
you
you need
run
to.
back,
Yeah.
that's
Think about-
more leadership."
You get it?
So
So I value him for that, and I just think that if he won it, I would not be adverse to it. But I think that Inter are on another cusp of another.
Yeah.
That these players will not have a chance to do it again.
Yep,
Right.
definitely. They're old.
So I remember
This
when
team is probably older than the last one.
Yeah.
No?
people,
Yeah, possibly.
No,
Because
no,
Acerbi,
no, that last one, as they finished that.
No.
As they
Remember,
win that one.
how old was Brozovic?
Let's go back to the 2010 team.
No, not 2010.
The 2010 team was
okay, you're
older.
talking of the team that won it in
The
2010.
2010, the 2010
Alright.
team
Which
was
team is older?
older.
That one, even Mourinho run.
I said the 2010 team was older. Materazzi was in his mid
Benitez go
30s.
collect useless work.
Lucio.
Lucio was in his mid 30s.
Diego Milito was 30.
Zanetti was in his late 30s.
Yes.
He was like 30.
Milito was like 29,
Stankovic
32.
was in his
Stankovic.
Thiago Motta was
Eto.
was in his early 30s.
Schneider. Old
Exactly
man.
now. They're all old
I
men.
think Christian Kivu.
Christian Kivuchi
Old
was
man.
in his mid 30s.
I say Mourinho.
Every single person
As
was.
they win that,
No, Mourinho didn't run. It was because he was my
They say
team
don't
that came
see.
for
My
him.
guy, to
They say don't see everything.
No, they were crying.
Now foolish Benitez go collect job. Get 6 months.
They pissed out.
Them plaster him straight.
They pissed out.
Say you. Let's say no. This man don't squeeze
no
all
job
the
we
quality
could call
out our
Mourinho
body.
squeeze.
Squeeze them.
Bro,
Treble,
Lucio
man.
them. Lucio Abattoir, yes
They
now.
were done.
Treble.
Mourinho needs to be idolized as probably the greatest
God,
assets in football ever
Abeg.
of all time. Mourinho was talking to Sky the other day.
Yeah,
He said the Inter. They say the treble is for me.
I wanted to win, but I don't want them to win the treble. I don't want them to win the treble. It's for me alone.
The amount of honesty that Mourinho has
I love the guy.
it's incredible. Like as a human being, like it's not the most savage thing to say. But the guy said, "Look, the treble is for me. I didn't want to win the treble and that's an honesty that you could have just given a very straight on answer.
He's a light-hearted,
club,
but it's honesty.
And that's classic showbiz
So
business.
talking
man.
about this treble, I remember when Lucho won it at Barça. That was 2015, and people were
When you say Lucho, you mean
giving
Luis Enrique,
Luis
right?
Enrique. People were giving Messi, Suarez, Neymar that praises and forgot the coach. People were like, "Oh, he had the team, he had everything." And I've always said that if you look at Luis Enrique right from when he was at, I think, is it Roma? I think it was Roma.
Yeah,
Celta
Roma coach.
Vigo.
Yeah.
He has a pattern. The issue I have with him is that he doesn't want to change his pattern. And that was why it was sacked when it was after this spraying this thing. You have this mentality of, oh, this is how I want to go, this is how I want to play, and whatever is happening, you still want to continue.
Now I go defend against
Yes,
Arsenal.
sir.
now.
No.
Yeah, I was so shocked.
It changed.
Yeah,
it.
now I think
Can't they play Arsenal counter
If
attack?
now. They
Now you
made this
understand
start again.
Yeah, now.
the fact that there is no Kylian Mbappe, I will say it anyway, that as giving everyone that understanding that this guy knows what he's doing is a proper. See, apart from Mourinho, apart from Pep, I think now the coach
Antonio
that
Conte, sir. Don't forget that.
probably Conte, but the coach I would say that has been really underrated is Luis Enrique. He got into that PSG team. I remember that first 10 games was a real struggle. It was as if this guy was not the proper guy for the job. They were missing Kylian Mbappe. And he kept on doing what he was doing, made the boys understand his pattern. But by immediately they pick like this, December like this, everything begin their life.
First
Excuse
6
me,
months was
sir.
turbulence. First 6 months was very
Yes,
turbulent.
yes, very.
Excuse me, sir. I think Enrique has done an amazing job.
Brilliant, actually.
Brilliant job. But I don't agree this after Jose, after this very no. Reason is this.
This will be his second treble, bro.
Wait, sir.
He never win
He
am
never
now.
win am now.
That's
Relax.
what I'm saying. That it will be his second treble.
Relax.
If
He never
wins
win
it,
am.
Let him
Here,
make a
right,
answer.
PSG, they've been one of the biggest underachievers in the Champions League. We're going to the final, lost it with Tuchel. With Ancelotti, I think it was semi-final or
They
quarter-final.
never got to the final apart from Tuchel. Yeah.
Apart from Tuchel.
Yeah.
With Laurent Blanc at the time, I think it was quarterfinals as well. So they've always done knockout. So they would do quarterfinal, they would do semi-final. Then they did final with Tuchel and then lost. So they've been one of the biggest underachievers in recent times.
Right.
Maybe in the last decade. One of the biggest underachievers. So him getting to the final is an amazing job he has done. Also because he has moved away from that superstar philosophy. That said, in today's game, let's not make it seem as if he doesn't have the best crop of talent in that team. In today's game,
Where I want to,
he has not
come in is-
he's not going with the
That's
super.
right now.
He's not going with the superstars of Mbappe, Messi, Neymar that they used to have.
Yeah.
Di Maria.
But right now, in today's game, he has some of the best talents on his hands.
He made them better.
In fact, that one is left to be debated or argued
he's
or whatever.
created more of a team.
But at some point, what we used to insult Dembele for was inconsistency. The tone was this guy is not living up to his potential.
Yeah.
But the potential was clear. Everybody could see the potential, right? And then when Barcola was going to go there, I'm not saying Barcola is world class or is the best of the best, but almost everybody wanted Barcola. Premier League, that's testament to how good he is. Then you brought Vazquez into the team. Then you look at his midfield as well. Some of the best ball playing guys. João Neves, when he was going to move, everybody wanted João Neves from Benfica.
Who he constituted. He formed the team.
Yeah, no. So that's why I said he has done an amazing job. What I don't agree that IBK is trying to
Is
do
the
a
level.
whitewash of he's
Oh, yeah,
very
yeah.
underrated because he does
Is
a
he
lot
not
with very
underrated?
little.
Is he not underrated?
No, I don't think he is.
In today's game,
Really?
I don't think Enrique is underrated.
No.
I think that, and I'm never going to change this stance for anybody, right? I think that anybody that coached Barcelona in those years deserves to win at least one Champions League title. If you coach Barcelona with Messi, Iniesta, and Xavi for 2 years, and you don't win a Champions League, your coaching is probably iffy. Because you have to remember, in one-off games, Barcelona will tear you apart. It's
Sergio
simple.
Busquets, all
You
these
understand?
people.
You might not win the league, right? But on a Champions League night, when away goals was a thing
my God.
back in the day,
How are you going to stop them from scoring?
How you gonna stop them scoring?
You get so those are the
you want to
things.
tear you apart. You understand? So there is that. But I mean, I like the point Rufai has made about Enrique. I think that where I want to give him credit is what FX has sort of like pointed the compass to is that ultimately the coach assembles the team.
Right.
But not just assembling the team, the coach is the one that now says, despite you guys being here as star players, this is how we are going to treat and respect ourselves as footballers. I don't think I've seen anybody in that team with a superstar aura. There's
It's
no
because they are not.
there's
yet.
no
Is it-
no
it-
Dembele,
Dembele will be
he's
superstar
not
for
like superstar per se, but
He's
been
not.
to
he has
Barcelona now,
kept that
isn't he?
lead.
He's
on
not.
that
He's
level
not.
too.
Dembele is not a superstar.
He's
I
not.
don't talk saying a
There is
superstar.
no.
But
there is- the only
we'll-
person that is going to that level is maybe Kvaratskhelia. But there is no other
Relax
players
now.
that
Marquinhos
they
is
are
in that
just-
team now, is he not?
But it's not a superstar.
Marquinhos is a super. Is not a
He's a
superstar
good
on the
player.
level of them.
Luis
Yeah.
Enrique, you guys
He's not a
have-
superstar
you guys-
on the level
for me,
of
I think
them.
you guys have said some things, but you've missed maybe just
I
one
don't miss
thing.
anything. Talk the way you want to talk.
But I think you've missed one thing,
I don't
which
know,
is
maybe I decided to-
Why I want to talk, why I
like,
talk.
why I want
Talk.
that. But really, jokes aside, Enrique, I think what he's done is learned from the past and lessons and all that.
You don't go learn from
And
me now.
from what IBK said was, if I'm sticking to this philosophy of football and it's not getting me results, or I'm not getting to that final chapter, then I need to tweak something. So he's learned from that. Also, that continuous conversations with players, with the individual players, like what we saw with Mbappe and all. I know he's had those conversations with these guys now to try and say that, look, this is how this team is, and this is how we want to be playing going forward. I think PSG over the years, under the Ancelottis, the Tuchels, when they had Ibrahimovic, Verratti, and quality world-class players, they were too individualistic. Yes, Neymar and the likes. So in a way, we saw the quality, but playing as a
the
team to get to the next level, to get to a final,
Sacrifice
to
for
win
each
it,
other, yeah.
They didn't have that. I remember they had some altercation at some point when Neymar was having issues with Mbappe and they had to call for a meeting
It
and
was
they
even
went for a rest
Cavani. I think
they went
penalty.
to a restaurant
This penalty issue.
or something like that. There was
Cavani.
another one. There was another one that Verratti was the one that called for the meeting because Verratti had some sort of restaurants in Paris or whatever. So there were constant team meetings and whatnot. But what Enrique has come to say is, I'm the head boss in charge. This is how we're going to play. The major guy that was in a way giving me problems is Kylian. He's gone. Everybody play accordingly. One thing I also give him is he's allowed his wingers and his players to express themselves a lot. You know, so the Doués, the Dembeles, and all that. The one-on-ones. I mean, I've noticed I still watched something recently, and we've been talking about it for years now. But let me just say like a year. Wingers, when they don't go 1v1 a lot with fullbacks anymore. Once they get that opportunity, they pass back. Nobody wants to go outside. Most times they even want to go inside. There's that mechanical way of playing football, and I don't see that with this PSG team. This guy allows his wingers to express themselves. And I like that.
Don't be allowed. The player get the qualities of a woman.
No, that's the thing. No, that's it. No, that's the thing.
This guy know the
That's tactics. That's tactics. Coach's instructions is that do not do this. When you
coach
allow
no
players to
one
express
No,
them,
sir.
bro,
No,
you're
I
not
think it's-
controlling.
I don't-
That's
I've
Conte.
been-
Conte
I've
would not allow you
bro.
do that.
No,
No, I
sir.
think
For
it's
example.
both.
No,
I think
sir.
it's
No,
both.
no, sir.
Their tactics.
You don't
their tactics-
allow them express
Their
themselves.
tactics
That's
that
very
can
good.
post-
I'm not saying what
I've
you're
said-
saying.
Wait, hold on, bros. I've said this over and over again. I've been to training sessions, and I can tell you that coaches are literally the ones playing the football.
I disagree.
No.
Now,
You
it
have
was
been
then.
to
bro.
training sessions.
Bro,
Me have
bro.
been to the actual
Bro,
games.
it was
Yeah,
then.
the game.
Calm down,
Antonio
calm down,
Conte
calm
does
down.
that.
It was then. It
He
was,
moves
if-
players while
if you
they're
say then, now
playing.
I'll say okay. Players want to be audacious. Players want to do what they feel they can do.
It still exists now.
We were playing a game one time, and one of our players wanted
Okay,
to
wrap
take
wrap
on.
this thing up quickly.
Then the coach was like, "Don't do that. You have a player pass."
Yes. The reason they told him to pass.
And one thing about footballer is that
IBK.
once you have told him that, hold on. Once you have told him that is what you'll be doing.
IBK,
Yeah.
the reason they have told him to pass is because the coach knows that
There-
that thing he
there are
wants
players
to
you
do
cannot
is
tell.
not 100% efficient.
Did you
If
see-
you
No,
know,
no,
if
no.
if Messi over that time, you don't go tell him to make it
It's
pass
a
because you know
mixture.
say he will take this
But
guy
it's still a
apart.
mixture of both.
No,
at the end of the
That's
day.
why
No,
I said
no,
it's both.
no,
Their
no.
Baba, if
tactics,
Messi dey now,
their
Messi
tactics
go-
that
there
can
are some goals
possibly
that don't allow
limit a
it.
player a bit.
Messi go dribble
but
player
not,
from
not,
midfield.
but
and
not
coach,
totally.
Coach go dey look.
Listen.
There are tactics
For
that
now,
can
coach go
possibly
dey look.
limit a player
It's not
small.
possible.
Look at Doku at Man City. Everybody knows that the way Pep wants his team to play, there's a chance he could limit you a little bit. Oh, Jack Grealish used to go pick the ball up anywhere, dry play. Pep wants him to hug the touchline. He could limit you a bit. But Doku comes in, still does his dribbles, everything, even from the touchline. So that's why I
But
said
he
it's
doesn't-
both.
he still passes back.
No, in fact, no. Let me come in here a little bit, guys. Let me help you out.
Say your own.
Let me help you there.
Don't help
Let
me.
me help you there.
Say your own.
So you see, Pep started his career coaching, arguably the best player of all time. Right now, that comes with something. So when he goes to any other team, he will tell you, "You are not Messi. Don't do it." Clear, right? When you come from driving, your first car is a Rolls Royce. You understand? The next
Somebody will put you for Corolla.
Stop what you're doing. You understand? I can see. I can already see the ceiling of your ability. You cannot be better than Messi, Iniesta,
Now it makes-
Xavi.
Now I make
So-
Pep talk. Say this Matthias Nunes.
This Matheus Nunes,
He's not the
he's
guy to
not-
go. He will play right back,
Right
but he's
back.
not the guy
Right.
to come and play in the middle.
But
He didn't see that before, right?
no,
You don't see him now. Now up close and personal.
and it was a big criticism of Pep at the time that Pep almost squeezes the footballers. So Pep even had to say it expressly, say, my job in the team is to get the team to play from build up. We build the game to the final third.
When you reach
then
front.
I now allow the KDBs to show their talents. Right? That's always been the coach's jobs in teams.
But what you do when you reach the opposition box?
Box is
Don't be say coach. They tell you say do this.
They lie.
What
Understand?
the whole,
They could be a
this is our setup
it
to
could
take
be a-
us here.
and also there could be a fallback plan, right? Like if we get back to if we get
One laugh. Why they laugh inside your
Because we
belly?
disagree. We
no,
totally disagree with you guys.
there's also I think there's this in the Last Dance there's a story about Steve Kerr took the last shot that won one of the the Bulls.
I don't know.
No, right. So Steve Kerr, the coach of
Last Dance,
Golden State, right, took the shot. That shot he was supposed to take the shot, but it was like I think it was Jordan that wasn't happy about the shot being given the play.
The setup play was given to him.
Given to Steve Kerr, like, yo, I should be the one taking the last shot. So in the NBA, for example, is a bit more, mechanical.
This is the
But-
person that's gonna do this. Person.
And with him, sometimes you're in the game, you're not feeling it. You're like, you know what, this guy has to take it. What I'm saying is that ultimately, in football, when you have players like what was it, Desiree Doué,
Yeah, the
Then
injury has
Bakola
been
them.
removed completely.
but Vasquez, what are you going to tell Vasquez to do? Do you see what Vasquez did against Arsenal? You got to tell Vasquez to cut in and come back out and strike with his left leg. You can't tell him to do that.
Like-
all you know is that you're going to put him in the conditions to be in that position.
Yes. That's why I said, for me, it is both.
So it's a mix of both. But in terms of actually saying, you know what, take on this player. No, I don't.
It's
think
like yesterday. It's like yesterday.
Yeah,
Kopama
no, you guys have
said,
been talking
It's
since.
like
Hold
yesterday.
on, hold
Make I
on.
finish out now.
You know, you can't be-
Kopama
can't
said
be-
I got sick and tired of getting the ball and passing it back. That's why I did those 2
Yeah,
assists.
so wait, see, what we're saying, we're not
If you're
denying
there,
that.
like, they don't have-
We're not denying
Exactly.
that, but we're saying that there are coaches out there that are involved in every step of the play
be say- yeah.
from the beginning. Perfect example is Antonio Conte.
Well, we're not talking about
I remember. No, I'm just using that as an example now. When you arrange your team and telling this guy, this is your position, this is where you're going to be. Another example is Victor Moses. He was never a right wing back, but constantly being spoken to on the sidelines by Conte and Aspilicueta, who was playing behind him. Like, this is where you go, this is where you stay. That is how they build up all the way.
That's in the first phase.
So yeah, but now that's where I'm going. Now where I'm going is this: this guy, Luis Enrique, has allowed his wingers, because we see that in today's football where wingers go one-on-one with the 1v1 with that fullback or wing back, and they pass back because they notice that okay, there's maybe not that number 8 that is running to the
And
box.
it's not as if they cannot
You
take
can
on,
take that guy on, which is
FX,
what
what
I'm
you are
saying.
mixing up.
Wait now, wait.
Martinelli
What I'm
was-
saying is
tell
that
me we gotta do it.
there's
FX.
there's the
FX.
conditioning from the coach to say that. Wait now, you know when you guys were making your point, we didn't interrupt because we wanted to hear you out.
We don't allow you now.
The truth is, the guy has not been the guy has not been conditioned. The guy has not been conditioned to go to. Sorry, the guy has been conditioned to play back.
Who?
Whoever that winger is.
No.
Play safe.
No.
Mention
No.
names
Safe.
now.
No.
I've seen that in the
Let me tell
Premier
you
League.
what-
I've seen that in
let's
the number
mention
of
names.
games.
Let me tell you what you guys
I've
are
seen that in
mixing
the
up.
Premier League. I've seen that in
What I want to ask
number
you,
of
FX,
games
right,
already.
is tell me 2 players in the world, young players in the world right now, that are better than they should do a one-on-one situations.
UBA. Yeah.
UBA. Doku does that. He passes back.
No, Doku's
a lot.
I want talk UB and I want talk. I don't know which I talk out.
You know,
I say UBA.
you know, say that video where I see they say Limelu, they do yoga. Say, I don't transfer my 3-5 or for you now. Put that for OP because
I know.
this
boy,
time we
so
bring
that
up. Yeah. But back to the point, right? Desiree Doué.
Yeah.
I don't know 2 players in his age category that are better than him
One-on-one. You know what I know what I'm mixing up. I know what I'm mixing up.
Let me just say
tell
this
you what
last
you're
part.
mixing
There
up.
was one time that Desiree Doué did something. I think one coach, either it was Henry or Luis Enrique, said he did something and he lost the ball. And he was like, no,
Let me
don't do that. Sorry, he passed back. And he was like,
Sample
no,
size is too small
go,
now.
go,
Bro,
take him on.
Sample
No,
size is too
wait,
small
wait,
now.
Stop making
Come
it
on
too.
now.
Stop taking it too simple and safe.
When Vini started
Take
at
him
Madrid,
on.
Vini was also like that. When he's with the ball, he always wants to take on players. I remember one time when Benzema said that the guy was playing against the team, and that was the major reason because you have options, but you would not pass.
let me tell you.
Vini. Now that I think that what we should have
I
said
agree
is
to
when
an
a
extent
player
what you're saying.
matures in the game, then the coach is no more in his head.
Let me tell you what
He
you guys
knows
are mixing
what he
up.
can, and that's why when Vini takes on players now, you can't see a coach come and say, "Oh, guy, why did you do
Relax.
this?" Because you know he's not a mature player. But normally, coaches are always in players.
Let me tell you what you guys are mixing
Always.
up. Let me tell you what you guys
Anyway,
are mixing
let's
up.
move on for this conversation.
I do not agree that a player, a winger, gets to an advanced position and the coach is in his ear to pass back. I don't.
Never.
Never.
So why did
what
he do it?
happens? What happens is this. This PSG, you guys are using an example. The guy doesn't play with an out-and-out number 9. What he does with his front line is we move. We constantly move. We
Yeah.
constantly move. That's what Enrique does with his front 3. So that allows Varaskelia to go from left wing to middle to right wing to. So that's how he has set them up to arrive in the final third.
From there, cause chaos.
From there, do what you
as
do.
you see fit.
For people like Pep, their own is this is how we do. We overload this place. I need my winger to stay here, stay on the flank, so that I can have somebody come into the half space, so I can create a triangle, right? So I can have another person come into the half space here, so I can create a triangle. But when we get here, you can't tell me that Pep is telling Doku that don't take on that right back.
And more so, when Pep was at
Do you understand
Barcelona,
me?
No, it's more of telling the player.
Don't lose the
Be
ball.
safe.
No,
Be
when-
safe.
no,
Be safe.
it's not be
when
safe.
Pep,
When you
no.
take on a player,
Yeah,
when you
be
take on a player,
safe.
you already have a higher chance of losing the ball.
No.
You know what the difference?
not if you are Lionel Messi.
You can tell
right?
him. You
Not
can
if
tell
you're
him don't
Iniesta.
do it close to our box. That one did. That's why
You
we keep
understand?
telling you guys it is a case of this is how we arrive here. You can tell him no, don't do that close to our box.
You think
But
any
if we
coach-
lose it here?
you think any- Do you know any coach about discipline at Mourinho? Right. Mourinho was like, Hazard is lazy in training, But we understood that on the game
on
day,
the game day, he's going to give us the 3 points.
you understand? We'll allow him to do what he wants to do. You think any coach would tell Hazard when you are in the front, when you are 12, 18 years to go?
That's
You
not
know,
what
see, you know the difference. See Hazard.
It always depends on the quality.
Or the-
You understand?
yes.
You overcoach players that don't have the quality.
The quality. Look at
But
the example of Hazard. No vex. Look at the example of Hazard. When Hazard will play at Chelsea, Hazard will pick the ball up from anywhere. Because the coaches we had at the time, it wasn't an emphasis on, oh, this is how we progress the ball. We play 3 at the back, we pass it from the back. There wasn't an emphasis on that. Hazard is our star player. When you see him give him the ball, he can take it anywhere. That was it.
Anywhere.
But what you guys are saying is that let's now say Hazard plays for maybe a Pep or a Maresca now, and he wants him to be on this wing because that's how we're playing. That's our progressive.
I think
you guys are
the
saying that him
conversation was
playing
just-
here, they can be telling him no from there. You can't dribble.
You can't dribble from
no,
there.
nobody's
the-
going to
the
tell us that
conversation
from
was just-
Lille that you
no,
can't
no,
dribble.
that's not the conversation was always around the obsession with possession and keeping it safe and not allowing that individualistic skill to come out from especially attacking players like wingers, for example, and keeping it safe. Oh, let's keep possession. That's what IBK is also saying. But what we're saying is that some coaches have now put upon
Is
themselves
Pep
to say
one of
that,
those
look,
coaches? Is
Yes.
Pep one of those coaches?
Yes,
Okay, he is
obviously.
Abi. Let me give you an example. How was Maresca? How was Mahrez under Pep?
Man's going to move crazy.
How was Mahrez under Pep?
for
But
left
you know,
wing?
say Mahrez self, they do that thing at times.
Do it.
Do waiting.
so
At times,
this is where I'm going.
Go still pass back.
This is where I'm going.
come on
Everybody
now.
feels
Jesus
pass
Christ,
back
no,
now.
everybody
No,
passes
that's
back
not-
now.
Let me even give you.
Basket himself no go pass back.
Everybody passes back.
This
Let me give you
final,
another
when
angle.
they don't pass back, I go call you. Say,
oh,
Alpha, say you don't say you don't pass back now.
Wait, that's another angle. There are some
everybody go
players-
pass back now.
Different qualities for different players. Mahrez, you would have noticed that. Oh, this guy, you're 1-on-1. You are much better. Oh yeah, let's look at this guy on the left. What's that guy's name?
Quality UB is talking about.
Exactly.
That's why I'm agreeing. But there are some players that you look at Edoku, which is the same thing Thierry Henry was saying. When I was assistant manager at Belgium, there are some times I was speaking
fantastic
to
you
when
brought
I was
up Henry.
speaking to Doku was like, look, you have the skill. I know that. You do all those dancing.
But your
whatever.
success rate is not
But
high.
you are always cutting inside. Go on the outside too sometimes. Why are you always passing
And he
back?
said he's
Why are you
always
keeping it
putting his
safe?
head down.
Yeah,
And
putting
he
your
said
head
he's
down.
putting his head down.
Say, put your head up. So that my point is that has come into that player's natural instinct that, oh, once I do shimmy, this defender is not moving. I'm not taking this guy on. Make I pass back.
That's
I
the
beg,
player,
keep it
not the
safe.
coach.
That is where that's the player,
But
not
what
the
if
coach.
the player, they do am
coach is
before?
trying to
Because
help
the player
player.
is now doing it so much, the coach now comes to player.
Trying to
You
help
know
the
what?
player.
Alaye,
Brother,
don't do that one-on-one.
Brother,
Pass back. But give,
brother,
yeah, but ability. But
it's
sometimes
ability.
give.
Brother, I promise
sometimes
you.
give that.
I promise you, brother.
Give that, you know,
I promise
do
you,
it,
brother.
continue
There's not
doing
a
it.
coach in Europe today that will pick a winger that takes on his man when he faces them. It won't be them all the time. But there's not a coach that will take
There
a
might even
winger
be a rule
that
or an
picks-
agreement
that
with
takes
player
on
that you can
over
only do
somebody that passes back.
You can only do three take
No
ons
coach.
in the first half.
See what Henry also
there's
said.
no coach
I'm
like
sure
that.
See what Henry also said.
I'm sure
Henry also
Benitez was
said-
like that.
Henry
Benitez
also
too
said.
was a
Henry
positional
also
coach.
said he doesn't understand. He was talking about Martinelli.
Yes.
That there's a place you get to in the opposition half.
have to eliminate
You are
the
not
player.
coming back.
You can't come back.
Henry said it. He
This
said
thing,
there's
eh?
where you have
Yeah.
to. There's one you. He said when you cross
Use that ball boy
this
for-
that ball boy side in attacking, you can't be coming back again.
This thing I said to Friday saying this thing was in 2019.
Take him on.
The job of some players in the team, when the team have walked the ball from
To this
first
point.
phase, second phase, third phase, give you. When you recycle again, right? There's a problem there.
There's a problem.
For me, right? Watch.
You don't think that's the-
I implore
that's
you.
the coach's fault?
I implore you. I
It's
implore you.
not.
I implore you to look at
Sometimes it's philosophy.
the Mourinho scouting report of the opponents. Chelsea, Barcelona, right? Where he reports on Xavi,
All these people,
Ronaldinho,
how
Messi,
they
everything.
behave, what they do, how they play.
The guy said, he said, Lionel Messi, you get very aggressive with the ball attacking, foul him early.
Now is it right?
Yeah.
He said foul him early.
What that means,
Olórí burúkú èèyàn.
this idiot
He
foul him early.
Oh my God, don't
said, Iniesta, very dynamic, very technical, always comes from the
Crafty.
bench.
I've read that. I remember
Xavi,
it.
he says you can't talk one other person, very emotional. Puyol. He said
Yeah.
Puyol, emotional, very good defender, but you can
Get on
That's
that.
my skin.
you can upset
Now,
him.
what that means is that this guy's success rate is high.
Yes,
So
sir.
if you don't foul him early, you're one-on-one your keeper.
You understand?
Do you understand?
There is no coach that
There's
will
no coach.
look at. Okay, for
They're
example,
honor. They're honor. First
Philip.
10 minutes.
my brother,
Red card.
your Chelsea, Madueke and Neto. Is it not the same formation Maresca plays whenever he plays them? When
Yeah.
Madueke go play right wing, and Maresca they tell Madueke man take on those people. He plays the same formation. both of them they hang the wing. I seen one minute they hang the wing.
So
Why is Madueke taking
has
on
also,
players more than Neto?
he has also given them that
now,
freedom.
Madueke should not come out.
now you don't use Madueke.
He has given him that freedom.
Wait, you don't use,
Yesterday,
wait,
I
you,
think
wait, now you
should
don't.
stay on that lesson.
Now you don't use Madueke as example. See Anthony yesterday. Ball where you go fast. Give person you want take on.
Because he wants to make something happen. Cucurella no green.
Anthony did
Cucurella
good.
pockets in life.
Cucurella no green. He wants to make something happen.
What's it gonna happen?
Because the defender had a good game against him.
No, having said Anthony didn't have a bad game.
I'm tired of this
No,
conversation.
it's not like
You
he
guys
had
are
a bad
criminals.
game. He didn't have a bad game. But people were
see the
expecting that he
halfway
would do
there.
something.
Wait, he didn't have a bad
That's
game.
it.
He
No,
didn't have a bad game.
So
He didn't have a bad game.
which game I gonna watch?
Then he did. Then what did he have?
No, it's not like
He had a
this.
game.
No, it's not like he had
There
a
is-
stinker.
there is-
He had a
It
game.
was that people were already expecting.
he had a
Oh,
game.
he would do.
What kind of game did Malagusto have yesterday?
He had a shocking game.
What?
Malagusto.
He had a shocking game.
Dead.
I'm here to tell
Terrible
you.
game.
He had a
Dead
shocking
game.
game.
Yeah.
So
Dead.
you cannot see Anthony and say that Anthony had a kind of
You
game.
understand?
No.
Exactly.
But
Anthony the
Anthony
first
just
take
had a
on.
game, Sha. I won't say he had a good or bad
What
game.
I'm saying is that
was there.
in relation to your expectation
Because-
of how he has been all season.
Yes,
You get.
exactly. Now, in relation to the expectation, in relation
get.
to
How-
just
he has
go
been
and do a
half
job.
season, not all season. Half season.
You know, Anthony didn't have a bad
They
game.
look at like say they talk
Anyway.
nonsense.
Now be
So-
thief, two
so-
of us. See the way that carry him go.
So we've talked
Now you
based
agree,
on
I don't agree.
on PSG, right? PSG. I think that they're a very cohesive team. That's why I think that this final is very balanced. But let's talk about Inter Milan a little bit, right? And what we expect. I've seen Inter Milan. The last 10 games worry me a little bit. The last 5 games worry me a little bit. You know, worry me in the sense that it just feels like a team that have given so much,
Yeah.
and the chase for the title has almost taken a bit more
Everything.
extra than it should take from
Yeah.
them. That's my biggest worry going into the game.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
know,
it's not a young team.
it almost feels like
Forget that young team for
it
final.
almost feels like can we just be on holiday already? Like we're tired, we're exhausted.
I'm scared for them.
Yep.
The reason I'm scared for them is
I'm scared now than I was before the Barcelona,
Barcelona game. Because I haven't seen the
game. You know,
Barcelona
say I tell you
game.
say they call Barcelona.
Yeah, we did tell you.
Nah,
that.
luck.
Which one we said that? We did tell you they were going to
Yamal
remove you.
cause all this.
You remember I was telling you.
We
Remember,
told you
I was
Nah,
telling
Lamine
you
Yamal
that
caused
they
all this
scored
thing.
4 goals in your house. VAR cancelled 1.
Are you happy?
And you think you remove them so easily.
I tell you, say that they are.
But
We say
anyways,
I tell you
but they
that.
went-
kill them.
You chased the game, bro. You led once in 180 minutes, bro. You led once. You led for only 3 minutes. Abi, 5 minutes in 180 minutes, my bro. If we put it in some context, they beat you well.
So that's
In some context.
that's why I think that
We get
in
luck. Now you
this
say they beat
in
me
this
well.
in this final,
Right.
right?
Go face PSG.
Over a one game, you know, one off where
Yeah.
you have young players, you know, expressing themselves and doing things like that.
I'm scared.
I worry that they might leave a little too late.
I'm scared
You know,
for Inter.
You know, they're the kind of team that you watch them and you're like, they have another gear to go into. You know, PSG are the kind of team that they can play in gear 3 from beginning.
And then
Yes.
go to get 5.
And go to get 5
Last
straight.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
The reason I fear for them is the reason I fear for Inter is that, my bro, I saw against Barcelona how much
Easy.
toll a fast game can have on that Inter team.
Yeah.
Beginning of the second half, that be like say one feint. Beginning. If somebody told me at the beginning of the second half that this guy Thuram would play till the extra time, I say like they would take him out very soon because he looked like he was gone.
And they are joker with that.
You know, so I that's why I fear for them that against PSG.
No,
Dumfries is the joker.
Who is the most important player in that team?
He's Dumfries.
right now.
Dumfries is the most important player in the
They
team.
do mad work.
No.
The only thing, however,
That Thuram they do mad work.
is that they've shown that
And Barella too.
they can
Dig deep.
dig deep and they can go on and say we need something. Let's go. Like
Alternative day.
the only way I think PSG would completely not annihilate in terms of scoring a lot of goals, but just keep them at arm's length.
That's not happening. There's no annihilation.
You understand?
happening.
Just keep them as it is. Score your goals early and manage the game. Which is
I want to ask. Sorry, go for it. Finish. Yeah.
which I think will still be difficult against an Inter Milan side that I think they can still play. They can pass. That's the thing. It can look like they're out of the game and they make 2 passes and they fall
That's
off
what I
the
was saying.
goalkeeper.
The technical
That's the thing.
ability of Inter is very, very good.
Yeah.
That's one thing. You can't just write them off.
No,
They have-
I think that
they can come out to play when
Yeah.
it comes to that.
And I think PSG too, they like play high line. They didn't do it against Arsenal,
Yeah.
but they might go and do it against Inter. And if they do it,
I beg.
No.
I have one question to ask. Is Lautaro fit?
Yeah,
He's not 100% for sure, but it looks like he
players
is,
like
too.
that.
He will definitely play. He's the
70,
captain.
They will play.
You know, there's some players that they need 2 actions in the game. They need two complete actions.
Lautaro.
If you watch players like Thuram needs,
A couple
5,
more.
6,
Touch
7
the ball.
You don't say you don't get
actions.
But
You
he's
got that.
improved
This
a lot.
He
one,
has improved, yes.
he learn
Lots.
ball well, he learn and well, But there's some players that are natural. They are naturals, right?
Half chance strikers.
You see the goal he scored against the outside foot,
Yeah.
right? It's similar to the
But-
Modric outside pass for Rodrigo, right? Those players are one of ones. Do you get? I'm not saying Lautaro is Messi, right?
Yeah.
But
he's a game changer.
But he's a game changer.
He's a game changer.
He's that kind of player,
a
right?
game changer.
He's like Bruno. There are players where they need 2 actions
Yeah.
to determine the game. Like Kevin De Bruyne as
They
well.
read the way they are pictured, the way the game pictures in their mind.
In their mind.
It's so different. Like,
So,
I
I
go with a fine, Abi. This is what I have to do.
I think that
Something like that.
He could be having a very poor game.
Yeah, yeah, poor game.
And he'll just
His
be like,
touches,
with a
he's
fine
losing
goal,
the
Abi.
ball.
This is what I have
Once
to do.
that ball just comes in the right position,
Like,
and his positioning
bro,
is very good.
Very good.
And he's always in the game, mentally.
Dumfries,
which
man.
is
So I think that
PSG have to be wary
I think
of
that
that guy.
the difference for me with PSG and Inter Milan is that PSG would play.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
No, that's
No, hold on.
I'm
hold
actually
on,
against
hold,
this.
hold on. PSG would play, right? But I think Inter need only 2 of their plays to work to score a goal. You know the way PSG plays. PSG play, we build, we go here, we switch, overload here, we come back.
So it's
And we score
high
it-
intensity.
high
football.
intensity.
The first 20 minutes, they will
All
rush you
Inter
for
Milan
sure.
need to score a goal, right? Is get that pass through the
To
middle
Dumfries.
and back in.
Go.
Go.
I'm telling you.
So-
It's like that the team in football that play almost like
Very
an NBA
direct.
team. Very direct.
They can
Very
pass
bad.
it around if they want to, but if they want to go direct, they can be very direct.
3 moves, you're out. That's what I was telling you.
So that's what they did to Barcelona.
That's
what they did, yes.
Second leg.
That
Yes.
pass to Lautaro. DeMarco
Bro.
just opened them up in that high line, boom, and that was it.
I was telling Rufai that this high line, it's great when you have young players, but it's easy to play against. Because all you need to do is play the ball out wide, bring it back in the middle, and spread it out.
It's like
Maybe if it was Luis Enrique of last season, I'll probably say that maybe Inter would get that win. But this is someone who understands that PSG, this is their second time in the final. They would want to do anything to win it.
This is Inter second time.
The way
in the final
the
two,
way-
the last time.
no, they never win them before. They want to win it.
It doesn't.
I remember when Pep
That's
played
what
against
Betis
this same
won with
Inter.
yesterday.
Wait, when Pep played against this same Inter last time, if they told me that Pep would actually sit back and be very careful in that game, I would say not lie.
Which game is that?
But that was
In the final.
against Inter Milan.
He,
Yes.
didn't sit back. Inter made them sit back.
That won't kill them.
No, that's not.
He
it.
learned
Because
from
Inter,
losing in
Inter, had
2021.
Inter had real control of the
They-
ball.
that-
He
that's
learned a
because
lesson
that's
from
because
2021.
they just want to give them the ball.
They-
The Rodri play that
If
game.
Man City
Rodri
won't
play
play,
now.
that's what I'm saying. If Man City won't play,
Say if Man City won't
now
play.
what's happen against
Brozovic
Chelsea? They
was
don't
on the
learn,
field, oh, my
Baba.
brother.
Don't learn,
Like,
that's what
they
I'm
don't
saying.
learn. I'm telling you, if Man City won't play, they go play. The same thing go
play,
do.
oh.
Inter against PSG, Baba.
My brother.
No, wahala.
PSG go
I
give
don't
Inter
talk
the
much.
game.
Me,
PSG, you know my worry. Inter Milan go struggle against PSG's attack. Guy, those guys are quick.
For me,
Those guys
na the
are
stamina.
too
That's
quick.
what I'm scared.
I have one question for you.
Bakola, Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, Doué. Before you know it, they have options.
I have one question
And
for
if
you
they
guys.
agree to if they agree to sit back and allow Inter dictate the play, and rely on counter attack, bro, Inter will not survive it.
But that's the thing. We've
Inter
told
will
you,
not survive
if
it.
Inter has the ball, they can play too. If you go and sit back, they can score you.
But the issue now is the counter system for PSG is crazy.
How do PSG play? IBK, I want to ask. How do PSG play?
So it depends on what they want.
No,
It depends on-
forget what they did against Arsenal. Arsenal, they adjusted.
They are very dominating side.
Yeah.
They are very direct. They rely so much on the pace of the wingers they have.
I think they have the best midfield too as
They
well.
also
Trio.
they also rely on the abilities of the creativeness of.
Of
their
course,
midfield.
they rely on the players they have on the
I think
field.
so that they
How
don't
do
know.
they
For Man
play?
U, they go
Don't
rely
be me, they go rely on.
That's what I'm telling you.
Very good.
They play directly. They don't pass the ball around.
No,
for
they
too
do.
long. They are very direct.
They do.
Enrique
Vitinha
loves
holds the
possession.
ball
They
a
no,
lot.
they don't.
They
don't.
play. They
Not this
play.
season.
Maybe you don't forget
But I
that.
watch them against Liverpool.
So
Watch them against Arsenal.
IBK,
Yeah, I actually want to talk
the reason I ask is because the reason I ask is because FX, you come in and give the analysis. The reason I ask is because I sense that you maybe haven't really figured out how PSG play, right? Because what we saw against Arsenal in second leg was not how PSG
Was
play.
not how they play. It was. We're all surprised.
You understand? That was something off another playbook.
Against Liverpool, first leg,
Yeah.
their whole ball saute, their whole ball past Liverpool.
That's
Against
why I said
Liverpool,
it
that's
depends
how
on
PSG
it
play.
depends on results, what they are looking
Relax
for.
now.
No,
Relax
no
now.
coach
He said,
they get how they
he
play
said,
game.
forget what they are looking for. How do they play?
relax
Now,
now.
come on now. Everybody knows Enrique plays away.
Their
Pep
possession
plays
based
away.
side.
Plays away.
Enrique plays
High
position-based football.
That was
Transition,
why,
quick
you know,
transition,
I
counter
thought, say,
attacking
even last
football.
season now, I could talk, say, okay, I'm very sure that this is what
I think they
Enrique
adjust
will do.
every now and then.
But now, you cannot say the same thing.
You know if they play position-based football. You know they play that position-based football, which is how they play. They play into Inter Milan's hands.
That's what I'm saying.
No, that's not what you're saying.
I said that if
You know-
what he will come into that game is
Anyways,
he doesn't.
IBK
He will be
saying,
so
What's him
careful.
confused,
IBK
right?
is saying,
You know what I- he will be so
make your
careful.
point. That's why it's
He doesn't
IBK is
just
going-
like just like
IBK
Pep
is saying they will
did.
do the same thing they did against Arsenal in the second leg. They will come, defend, and hit on the counter. That's what you're
Most
saying.
likely.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Fantabulous.
Okay.
I think also because Inter were still trying to get into the Serie A, and Enrique has been resting his players for like how many games left to the end of the season? Maybe 2 or 3.
Yes, now I did it.
He's been
Now I
resting
did
them
it
Even
now.
1 month.
You bet he's been resting them, and Inter played up until what last weekend.
Yeah, played
still
one
looking
Because
for
they
the
were
Serie
trying
A.
to- they were trying
So
to
there
win
could be
Scudetto.
something there.
Yeah, so
In terms of
there's a
intensity
clear
level.
advantage.
Yeah, I
there.
always like using been there, done that. But I mean, that's still history or philosophy. Inter, because of what they did in 2010.
Yeah, that one not too far.
Yeah, I know. Even
That
even
one
with
not
even with
You know,
Tuchel,
Man, you
Even
don't.
on
That we don't- even as
even
well,
on
we-
15
even
even
as
with
well we're gonna
Tuchel, even with Tuchel,
They give away the ball that time.
even with Tuchel,
even as well we're gonna do.
even with Tuchel,
Been there, done that,
three years ago, or was it
PSG.
2 years ago? 2
PSG.
years ago, yeah, PSG.
Yeah, but no, must have been like 5,
Yeah.
6
No,
years
2020
ago.
now.
That's it until 2020.
No, sorry, not PSG. Inter now when they got into the final.
You talk
City.
Tuchel now.
Sorry, I was with the whole laughing, whatever.
Inter
Now
won
don't
2 years
confuse
ago.
me.
Nah, you don't put
Now
the blame on
Inter,
us.
now
Yeah,
Inter,
you
I
talk
want,
something, now you
now
won't
Inter,
blame
me, I
us.
want to talk about.
2 years
Now
ago.
Inter, in terms of the philosophy of what they've won it before, and
Yeah.
of course, getting there 2 years ago, losing to City.
So
I
Man
think
City
they
won
have
before
that,
against Tottenham.
Football heritage.
that, no heritage, that whatever. We lost that last final. Still the same coach.
Heritage needs.
Inzaghi is there again. Still the same coach. Almost the same players. I think we have something to do this
I
time
think the
around.
final will be interesting.
It's definitely going to not
That
be.
much
I don't
is-
think it's going to be PSG overpowering them. I think it's going to be a really, really equal, balanced game. It's going to be really tight, and it's not going to be about how PSG have
really
started.
tactical.
Yeah,
Because
because
IBK might be right in the sense that PSG and Enrique wants it so much, they'll be
I
very
don't even-
careful. They'll
Exactly. I
approach
don't
the
even.
game.
I don't even think. Yeah, I don't think
Same thing when
PSG is going to
club go
start
do
how
against
they've
Spurs.
started in their last throughout the knockout stages where they start the first 20 minutes is gung ho, high impact, high
But you
press.
know, Barcelona had a
football.
striker that had knocked out
But
PSG.
if they
Easy.
most likely,
waiting.
but
Barcelona has striker that had knocked
if
out
they
PSG.
continue,
Easy.
if they
Since
continue
you
that
guys
way in
have
the
get
final,
striker.
Who?
PSG have no get striker.
Yeah, that's the way they
if
want to
they,
play.
yeah,
They
so
get striker,
if
they
they
put out
continue
for
that
bench
way in the
now.
final, I feel
The
if
boy
they continue
good
that way in
lose.
the final,
Nah,
That
he's
goes
not being
Ramos,
self
they will
they'll definitely lose.
That
If they
goes
play-
Ramos.
If
they
they play
play-
that
Only
way in the
Sel
final,
Koloman,
they'll
Same
lose to
Koloman,
Inter.
no, they struggle for Juve.
But you bought him for how much though?
No being
They
Bayern.
get Gakalo Ramos now, he put him for bench. Now he decided to play with Dembele
Yeah,
now.
it doesn't play
Arsenal no
Gakalo.
get that time. Even Kayava has been there injured.
That Ramos boy does squad cheek for
But
World
now
Cup.
Inter Milan has Lautaro and Thuram.
I think
they do the 50 change between Taremi.
I think Inter will win. I just sense that Inter.
Arnautovic.
I just think that Inter have an assurance about themselves that he who is down fear no fall again.
The occasion can get to PSG too.
Yeah, I just feel like
Because
PSG
they are young boys.
No,
young
with the
players.
coach
That's what I
that
was
been
going
there
now.
before.
Say,
The-
both
Be
of them,
the
both of
coach
them
go
get-
enter field.
The coach don't win now. You go calm them, boys. See, I've been here before. Calm, una calm. Una
See
go
this
win
guy.
this team. Una calm.
Relax now. Relax.
They whine.
Relax now. Babe,
Anyway.
babe don't call you before say you don't say a period. May your guy they tell you say calm down. I've been there
I
before.
go
You
calm.
go calm.
I go calm.
Eh.
I go calm.
You go get sense. They say they tell person.
But I want to take a prediction. IBK.
We do big boss. See how you go hang ball.
They go tell you say calm down. You feel beat the person when they tell you calm down.
See where you hang ball. Who was telling me that story? I think it wasn't FX. One of my friends was telling me that story about his brother. No, he was Tech, my guy, my trainer. Was telling me that one babe threatened him in university. You know, 100 levels is your guy bele for that kind of thing. And in Bros, you know, so him and the babe, you know, then date together today. After like 2 weeks, get that she don't carry bele. So in brother they laugh. The brother say, well, congratulations, that guy. So brother's older than him. Brother's like, it's not possible.
It's
Say,
not possible now.
you
Relax,
and
relax.
babe, last week, she said she don't take it today. So brother say, welcome to the club. Say you go take care of the people guys. So he was traumatized. Like, wow, you know, found out that the girl was lied to him.
Obviously.
Bro, he said delete the girl number, block her everywhere. That kind of
I
thing,
mean, you
know.
don't calm down. If I
You
don't
know?
say you calm down, your life will be turning in front of you.
You know. Anyway, let's predict it. Yeah.
Thanks.
Let's predict it. IBK, PSG wins. Extra time, no.
I think it might get to extra time. I think it's going to be a 2-goal game. Yeah. I don't know if it's 1-1. I don't know if it's 2-0, but I think it's going to be a 2-goal game. And I see PSG being so careful to finally win the Champions League.
The PSG win.
Yeah.
FX.
Always tight entire finals. I mean, Bayern 2-0, 1-0 against City. This one, I think, is going to be tight as well. I think Inter win it 1-0 this time around. Inzaghi would have learned lessons against
PSG don't score in a game.
Nah, I doubt it. It might just be a different. I just have a feeling that it's. And if PSG score, then it's 2-1 to Inter.
There are teams you watch and you're like, how can this team not
If
score?
PSG score at all, then it will be.
I was always
have a
going to go
feeling.
with a 2-1 Inter Milan win.
Yeah, I think so. If it's going to be that, then it's 2-1. But 1-0, I'll stick with a 1-0.
I think Inter going to like a 2-goal lead, something like that. You know, I think one of the
tight
teams.
final.
I think one of the teams going to.
You know what?
2-goal
I'll
lead.
change it. I think Inter win 3-1.
Hey,
Inter win 3-1.
is it that 2-1, 1-0 for me, Sha?
Right.
Because-
You the way they always predict that time. You go to say you get boot for us.
Who they use mouth drive to the accident.
Bro,
You get what? I don't see.
I don't learn from
I
that
don't-
Inter game. We know
I
that I
don't
don't
see-
talk well
I
now.
don't see a revised. I don't see a revised this thing of that tweet. How that person talk and say mouth. He call her mouth something. You know that mouth bends. I mean, you get that thing where say, they get accidents. Bro.
You know. So yeah. Let's touch on what player has surprised you most this season. I think it's easy to say Lamine Yamal. It's easy, but that would be an easy choice, no?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it will be an easy choice. What player has surprised?
Vitinha for me has surprised me.
I think Dembele surprised me this season, man.
I think Wissa for me.
It's
Wissa.
Surprised.
Yes.
Vitinha for me. I didn't because he was at
surprised. I'm
Wolves.
struggling. Surprised because I
Surprised you with his performance.
I was
like,
gonna go with like
Yeah, check his numbers.
Who I think
Wissa in the Premier League.
has had a
Wissa
really
like
improved season.
Wissa knows how to play.
Surprised.
Check his numbers,
because well, I think I'll go with what's his name, the Aston Villa guy, Tielemans.
Okay.
Tielemans, in the sense that I've always looked at Tielemans as a good player, but a player that's just going to be in the middle, just give you 5.5 steadily.
Right.
This season, I think Tielemans was pushing the 7-8, you know, like consistently with his performance. Like he was playing games that were important games, and he was bossing the midfield. You know,
So that's Premier League. So let's do Premier League first.
Okay,
Let's go La
okay.
Liga.
Okay.
I think for Premier League, I have to walk through the teams. I look at Arsenal. I don't think Saka has surprised me.
Exactly. Surprise.
I don't think it has surprised me because I always thought the talent was there. I think Raya has surprised me a lot this year. You know, I think Raya is now in the top 3 goalkeepers in the world or top 5.
Raya is really, really
Top
good.
5 for
Top
sure.
5 for sure.
Yeah.
United for sure nobody.
Bruno.
No, Bruno is 1-on-1, so that's quite clear. Man City nobody for sure.
Ireland.
Liverpool
He scored
nobody.
4 goals. That was a big surprise.
Gravenberch.
For Liverpool, Gravenberch was the
Gravenberch.
surprise. I didn't expect him to do that.
Honestly, I think.
I think they
expect him to
messed.
do
I
that.
think Gravenberch in the team of the season, in my opinion, is BS.
Honestly, I think
They didn't put him?
I think the Gravenberch
He's
thing-
there.
He's
I
there
think the
now.
Gravenberch thing has been
been overflowed.
overstated.
Because he
No,
started.
he's-
No.
No,
He's
it's been
Started well.
overstated.
overflowed.
Sorry, it's been overstated.
Because he started well. He didn't finish the season the same way.
Yes.
He
No,
started
no,
it.
wait.
So you can't
So who
use
would
the
you have put
early.
there?
You can't.
At half season,
Who
it
would
has
have put
stopped.
It has stopped. You can't use the early season and say, "Oh, this is, bro, I'm
I-
seeing him
I-
in
I
the team
disagree.
of the season."
No, it's
disagree.
PR,
See,
man. I'm sorry,
Open
man.
the
Bro,
I disagree.
Tielemans goes in there ahead of him.
I disagree.
Caicedo goes in there ahead of him.
Even like
Baleba.
this guy said they want.
Baleba goes in there.
You know,
No, even
Rufai.
no, there is no way. There is no way.
There's a Rufai that road with that.
No,
Rufai
follow
know
this
say
side.
they go here.
No,
Baleba.
but
They're
it's the
not
same
serious.
thing. No, Baleba goes in there ahead of him, in my opinion. There
way.
is no way he goes in there ahead of Caicedo, in my opinion. There is
So-
no way he goes in there ahead of Tielemans, in my opinion.
So yeah.
Like,
Let's take some things right. He's performed well, but I think overstated. Right.
yes,
Yeah.
now.
I
I think
that-
say we know they talk, say
think
no
that-
do well.
I think that you retain
Started well.
Some people are
Really
even
well.
taking him out for Tonali. I think
Really
was
well.
he this guy? But I don't agree with the Tonali one. But
Tonali.
I would rather have Bruno Guimaraes.
Tonali not across.
I would rather have Bruno Guimaraes.
Of course.
You understand?
Of course.
Who's another guy that I don't think Garimba is making the team of the season ahead of?
You know, I think Tielemans will be there for sure for me. Yeah, I think he'll be there for sure. But
Mbuemo.
I think Mbeumo.
Mbeumo, surprise.
Mbeumo has hit
He dey go Man U.
I see the level, my brother.
Because
We have changed our transfer policy now. It's Premier League players we want now.
I know they go.
We know the
Go Germany now.
I just say you don't play for this league.
Mbeumo, anybody that gets in
Bro.
Mbeumo, I get him.
bro.
I get it and approved. You get
That bros that
As they always say, Premier League proven.
Like-
PP.
tested. Okay.
Bro.
I think if I dey see that bros, it be like how they say
He's at least 38.
electronics for Alaba.
It's not.
He's at
He's at least 38.
It's not.
I don't know
He has
about
the
that.
brain of a 38-year-old maybe.
I don't know about that.
No,
But Mbeumo is a
That's-
proper Premier
38.
League player. He needs to go to a big team.
No, United.
The proper.
I think for me, who has surprised me, I would say this guy surprised me a bit.
In the Prem?
In the Prem for Chelsea, Enzo Fernandez, because I gave him a lot of stick in the first 2 years.
Enzo has improved a lot, I have to say.
You know, he has improved. I know Kunle had been always backing him right from almost the get-go. But I needed more. I needed more
Transfer figures.
from what I saw.
I just can't let it go. The summer.
From
the
what
summer,
I
the back.
saw, from what I saw him play at the World Cup in 2022 to him joining Chelsea in January, I was like, oh, this is not that player now. But just yesterday, even the goal, that second goal, just shows you the quality he has and the goals in him. He surprised me. I was like, this guy, 100 million, and you're playing like a 25 million pound striker
I
or a
think the biggest problem is that
midfielder.
from the get
So
go.
he surprised me, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah, from the jump for me, he was never a £100 million player, but that's not determined by him.
Exactly. That's the number one thing.
But you know, people can say I'm being a bit cynical, but the summer thing, I mean, the summer thing is just iffy. But to push yourself back
What's
from
some thing, bro?
the
The
racism,
Copa
thing,
America,
right,
this,
yeah,
but he was
yeah,
not the
yeah,
only one in
yeah.
the video.
Yeah.
They were all singing.
So,
I mean,
for to take yourself from that position to where what he's doing now, you know, being very integral in the team and
Yeah.
things like that, I think you have to give him a lot
I
of
promise you.
lot of credit.
I promise you that because you bring up, that make you be talk out. You
No.
be just the wait. Make you all get 2 stickers. You
Sharp.
say yes, I said it.
I can guarantee you that.
That's what he's waiting for. Now because you bring up, so it's just waiting.
but Enzo's played
He's waiting
really
like
well.
a bat.
But Enzo's
I remember
played
what
really
I said that
Enzo's played well.
they've brought him in. They're playing in an unfamiliar role. Amariska too said it, and I said it here that it's his job because they bought you, they're paying you salary. It's your job to
Find a
go
way.
and grow and do the job they want you to do.
Yeah.
Amariska said it
Find
too
a
that
way.
he has played in a way all his life, and when he came as a coach, he wanted him to play differently. And he has grown into that role and
My boy don't
learned
pick
and
now.
is doing well in that role.
Because Enzo.
Yeah, my boy don't pick.
He's a good player. He's a good player.
Next year World Cup will sweet.
He's a good player.
This Nottingham Forest striker. What's the name?
So me, I'm not surprised
Chris
because
Wood.
I knew it was quality. Chris Wood was always okay.
Wood.
Well, because he
I mean,
had 20 goals. So
Surprise!
And
20
surprise,
goals. 20 goals.
goals in him, but never
But it's not a spring
surpassed.
chicken.
And he's also set a record at Nottingham Forest.
I have to say,
over 20 plus goals.
Thinking
I have
because
to-
I know they
I
were
have to
players.
say- I
Semenyo,
have to say, Kluivert.
Kluivert, exactly.
Kirkers,
Kluivert.
Kirkers,
Yeah, Kirkers
Kirkers,
is
the left back,
Liverpool.
Kluivert is
solid player.
Kluivert is a surprise because we all knew
Well,
it
then
before
Roma
now.
now, he was struggling. at
So
Roma.
we always thought
They
this
don't
is his
loan that
level.
boy tired,
You get?
yeah.
We always thought this is his level.
Yeah.
But it's a surprise that
Yeah.
the boy, he
Bro.
felt like something clicked in
I
his
think
mind.
There's a record he holds at Bournemouth this year
Four penalties.
in a game. Yeah,
Yeah, scored 4 penalties.
Brilliant. Top
4 penalties in
If-
one
if,
game.
If that boy shoots for your 18,
Baba,
if that boy shoots for your
guy,
front
they
your box,
shoot to he score one
He had
kind goal.
3
It's just-
penalties.
Yeah,
He's
catch
a
me.
hat-trick of penalties 3.
you
Was
know.
it a hat-trick of penalties?
Yeah,
back
yeah,
to
yeah.
Gerrard
I
almost
think
did
he
that.
also had 4
Gerrard
penalties
almost did
in
that
the
against
game.
United.
No, not in the game.
Are you sure?
Now that game, hat-trick of penalty 3. Yeah, go
You know.
check it, bro.
Brilliant player. But yeah, I would say
Surprise.
if you wanted to put it,
Or maybe that, yeah.
Top
I'm not
guy.
going to check it.
Yeah.
Correct us in the comment section.
Yeah. So, no, would I even say somebody correct you in the comment section? For sure. Without even saying it, somebody correct you. But
Abi?
if we are we done Premier League, we'll leave Premier League and go to
La Liga.
I think it's just Europe.
no,
Vitinha
Europe.
FX. That's why Mike won. Relax.
No vex now.
You know, but if you go to Spain to Italy, for example, I think you can unanimously say it's McTominay. You know, I knew he could
player
score.
of the season.
I knew he could score goals, but
who carry that boy go
to take on responsibility
go
of a title-winning
Where did he
team.
play before?
Not
That defense.
striker before.
But the boy, they say in talks he never.
No,
he
midfielder
never
now.
He's a
played
midfield player.
before.
This is a striker, not
The guy doesn't
I
have-
ain't
they
a
say
striker
na 2
for
games,
your under
no.
18.
No,
The guy
never
is-
striker.
All those
No,
under
no,
18.
no, no,
Everybody
no,
don't
no,
play
no,
different
no,
position
no,
for
boy,
you.
he started
Under
as a
18.
No, he didn't play as striker, please.
He didn't play. He said it's only 2 games he played as a striker for under. and
He just
scored.
played.
That one a
Say
banter.
na just 2 games, but
No, but he's not a
normally-
striker.
But the boy, I don't talk him. Me they can't go number 9. Just did
What's this
there.
guy talking about?
Just did there. That boy Sabi score.
I don't think he can play number 9.
That boy
I
Sabi
think
score.
I think like Maguire, for example.
That was
right?
Scored, no doubt.
Maguire is a player that should.
Like that time we Lampard
the youth
discouraged
team
him to go
coach.
play at 9.
Exactly now. Yeah. The youth team coach robbed us of a generational talent at number 9. Maguire would have been number 9 like Chris Woods. Them. I'm telling you.
Is it that Chris
No,
Woods?
like-
That Chris Woods,
like
the kind number
Kind
9.
of that number 9.
Bring the ball.
Or Duncan Ferguson.
Low down.
Bring the
That
ball.
guy- that guy was
Ferguson
like-
good now.
You go see say head power 99.
No, have you seen- no.
Pace 22.
Maguire's movement in the box is
Before he
exceptional.
reached
I'm
that
saying.
ball.
Yeah, no, it's true.
You can- you see-
My guy is scary in
You
the
might not
opposition
like-
box.
you might not like him.
When we played them, I was scared of the
when he's
idiots.
attacking the ball, but when he's defending,
Do you know
he's
what's
clumsy.
crazy? Do you know what's
Relax
crazy?
now.
Do you know what's
Yeah.
crazy is that the guy, bro, man, you feel they play, no be corner, no be set piece. They feel they play open play.
And he go follow, he go
They go
transition with
cross
them.
ball, Maguire go the
Maguire's
header.
Yes.
movement in the box.
You don't go know how he go reach there.
His movement in the opposition box is exceptional. I
Top
think.
talent.
He did.
I
Top
think-
talent.
I think that for a young coach,
But say,
Maguire should have been a striker.
not 38.
but McTominay has been
Has to be across board, safe. Has to be the biggest surprise of the
because
season.
Yeah, McTominay.
because
Talent,
people might think that I'm being outlandish here,
Go on, Scotty.
but if you
No,
think
Dembele
about
did
hold
it
on,
too.
hold on, it's Italy or say Italy,
Everybody
right?
knew Dembele's. I'm even saying across board. McTominay
McTominay is
is
most
possibly
surprising, yeah.
because he's won the
Bro.
Serie A player of the season.
Bro,
True,
when you think
facts.
about what Osimhen did with Napoli, right, and you can say, oh, you scored a lot of goals as striker, but what McTominay has done in Napoli, right, I dare say is at par.
Alpha, relax.
No, I'm serious. Relax. Hold on.
Make I don't disagree.
So if he win Ballon d'Or,
No, relax.
Alpha, relax.
Make I don't disagree.
What I'd say with
What did you just?
What
I
I'd-
can win Ballon d'Or.
what
if
I'd
he
say
did
with
nominated now,
Osimhen
sorry.
is that Osimhen, obviously, they hadn't won the title in
Exactly.
30
You know,
years.
so he's-
So
Nada.
there's a different level of pressure there.
Osimhen also
But,
scored 20.
but you know,
something.
no. Exactly, he's a striker. He's world class talent. So he scored a lot of goals. What I'm saying is that this title was more difficult than that one.
No.
Yeah, it
Not
was.
necessarily.
It was because
Not
to the
necessarily.
last day, to the last game.
Not necessarily.
Breaking it.
Was
No,
harder.
in terms of he getting to the last game.
I don't see-
I will play.
Wait.
30, yeah.
To the fact of he getting to the last game
Played an old
might make it
Lukaku.
look like is a lot difficult. But that Napoli team that time, it was Spalletti did what? It was his first season too, or was it?
now.
It was his first season.
Nobody
These
knew
players,
Quara, nobody
Napoli.
knew a
you
lot.
understand?
Why they call him Quara?
I know that's that.
Kvaratskhelia.
He's Quara-
Kvaratskhelia.
It's
Yeah.
not Quara. K no,
It's Varaskelia.
it's
please.
Varaskelia.
No,
The K doesn't come out.
Like you're
Go
calling
hear
Quaras.
am
Go and
now.
listen to
It's
his
Quara
Kvaratskhelia.
now.
There's like you're calling Quara State. That's what we
For the
heard.
purpose of this podcast, I beg, call him Varaskelia. I beg.
Shebi
vex.
Osimhen talk. You never
They
go
go
That
correct-
was,
they
thank
go-
you.
they
That
go-
was it. So Osimhen that
They
gave
go
us
correct.
the
They go
proper
correct us for
pronunciation.
conversation.
Osimhen doesn't have Quara. They even call it.
Kvaratskhelia.
For
Quara-
this-
You
for
can't
this-
Kvaratskhelia.
They go
Kvaratskhelia.
call. Moving on.
Kvaratskhelia.
So because I think that
I
it's
hope
the
they
same
will-
thing. Conte has
check
come
am,
in
go see am.
his first season. Spalletti, it was his first and only season. Some of these players we
Sure,
didn't know them at the
Spalletti's
time.
only season. I think it was
I
two
think it
seasons.
was first. I think
I think it was the second season.
No, now they fired a guy and he took over.
I think
Was
I
it?
think it was
No.
Okay.
Spalletti started.
Possibly his second season,
was
but the
two
fact that it's
seasons.
Antonio Conte makes up for that is Antonio Conte. We know
Was
he goes
sleeping in
he goes
the-
somewhere, he
the
wins the
Napoli
league,
office,
and they gave him, Lukaku. He also got players that he wanted.
You know, McTominay overshadowed Lukaku this season.
Because it was a surprise, he overshadowed. But
No,
if you take out Lukaku's goals,
Goals,
they don't
No,
win the league.
no. If you check, McTominay, the goals he scored 1 more point.
12 goals.
No, because McTominay is a
Winning
surprise.
No. The goals he scored
Yeah.
1 more point.
I didn't check that, so I can't. I don't know. It's possibly.
It was a combination of both of them for sure.
no,
But their
of-
goals
before,
won.
of course.
Won them the yeah.
No, I'm just saying that. I mean, but,
But don't let us equate it to that Osimhen one.
No,
Let's take that
okay.
back.
Probably taking it too far.
Yeah, they've not won it in
But
30
but I
years
think that
from
this
Semenyo,
title,
so-
this title, is harder than that one.
I agree. It was harder.
The supporting casts that title had.
Inter,
then Vazquez,
The guy got
Inter and
Billings.
Co were better
The
that
guy
time.
got Billings from Bournemouth. He got the,
Inter and Co were
Billy
better.
Gilmore
Yeah.
from Brighton. He brought
Bro.
British guys,
Bro, Inter and Co were better that time.
runners.
Inter, Milan, they were better that
Yes.
time.
yeah, that's why.
And again,
That
the
one
fact
will be is harder in that
no,
regard.
harder.
It's not harder. This is harder.
that one is harder.
You did say which I thought that was supposed
No, this one.
I said they were better than I said,
one-
yeah,
that one
no.
they were
That one is better. It's
That
harder.
one
I
they
say
harder.
one.
Me
No,
personally
no,
never-
the support
me
team.
personally
No,
never
you
win-
won't go like
You won't
this
give support.
Me personally
No,
never
they
win
go like
league.
this
Me personally
again.
never win league in 30 years.
You know,
Only time win now,
anyway,
say no hard.
Wrap it up,
let it go.
Yeah,
Let it
yeah,
go.
Why are they always telling you to
In
wrap
Spain,
it up?
in Spain,
Why
it's
are you
quite
telling?
clear. I think Lamar. But I would say Lamar, but I think Rafinha is the most surprised.
This is Rafinha's first
You know
season.
Rafinha has
Second,
50 goal involvement.
Yes.
Involvement is a big deal.
No, it's not a big. It's ridiculous.
In
Like,
fact,
Ridiculous.
Ballon d'Or
Ballon d'Or
quality, yeah.
contender.
That's-
Contender
Relax,
for sure.
cool it.
you see,
Cool
you
it.
see,
So-
you see, give me something.
But I don't give you start. Who better pass Sam this season?
I agree.
Cool it.
So who?
So if it's about goal involvement, why is your career not winning it? then?
And your is a winner, make everybody rest.
Why?
I know in top
Look at
five
how many-
leagues
how
now.
many- how many-
Coefficient
how many-
day
How
now.
many? Now individual
Did-
award.
did he make
How
it?
many?
But individual
how many-
award, no be coefficient.
Coefficient
Did he make
day
it
for
to-
this.
did he
Oh, yeah,
make
no
it to
vex.
There's no
semi-finals?
coefficient Ballon d'Or ranking, please.
No
Ah,
vex.
There's no coefficient. Who
No,
took that
there's
one?
none.
How many
Go
goal
check am.
difference? How many
let's
goal
put money.
involvements Lewandowski get?
Did he play in any top?
How many goal involvement Lewandowski
you're
get? You all come on, Tavi.
How many waiting?
How many goal involvement Lewandowski gets? How many goal involvement Mbappe gets?
40.
Mama,
Lewandowski 40.
How many goal involvement Mbappe gets?
Mbappe like for
That's the
something.
part.
too.
See, I
Do you understand? So if we're going to go with goal involvement alone,
Nah,
there are so many people that will say I have a claim.
your is 78. Bro.
78.
Semi-final champions.
Your career gets only like
Semi-final.
And
Baba,
Amarim come out to.
now so in coach they start part for Portugal. Still go lose to
that one concern
to
you.
Shinyonyu.
Your careers get only few number of games over number of goals.
Oh yeah. If not goal involvement,
I know they play for top league.
Baba,
You know, reach
forget your careers.
knockout stage
Your-
of
same
any
to what
major
Amorim do
European
for Portugal.
tournament.
And I got in coach come out now. Like saying coach me, they say they'll come for Champions League.
And then if now, if
You
Unaya, if I talk now.
You get so. But honestly, I think that Rafinha's numbers,
Yeah, for sure.
you know,
Ballon d'Or favorite.
so
actually.
because of this goal involvement thing,
Contender.
I'm beginning to get annoyed with the assist statistics.
Yeah.
You know, It's beginning
Because
to-
person just pass ball, give
it's-
person laterally,
No,
in
but
shoot
the guy
and go,
has
they go
ball
count
this
assist.
season.
Sancho-
His
Sancho-
passes
Sancho-
and
Sancho
goals.
with 10 assists.
God bless
Rafinha
Messi
has
and Ronaldo.
played
We no
ball
even talk
this
goal
season.
involvement. That one are pure goals. Messi and Ronaldo. Now we
Cause-
don't they.
cause in
don't
my
they take
opinion-
goal.
It annoy me actually.
Because in my opinion, I can give the Ballon d'Or to Yamal. In my opinion, I will make a claim. Maybe that
Please
wait.
give him, please.
Maybe that wait.
He needs
I can.
it,
You know
please.
why?
Right now, who's the better player in the world than Yamal?
Do you understand? I can give him the Ballon d'Or. Forget goal involvement. There's nobody this season on the field that has made everyone, whether I don't care who you support, go. This guy is better than everybody on the field.
Bro.
I think Pedri.
There's nobody that has made us. Yeah, we talk about Pedri is one of the best midfielder. I'm talking one of the best players. Period.
Bro.
No, I think no. So I have a bit of a reservation towards giving attacking players all the credit in the game because okay,
This
watch,
individual-
you watch break.
Yeah,
Individual and I will talk now. Individual,
As they come.
what we're not talking
I
about.
was saying maybe next week we say nah, so they come too.
No, not this thing break am.
You know that we say your guy see the walk, you pick passes, yeah.
I just say, come, no.
Nice, just
Now
talk.
it is
Nice,
to
just
walk.
talk.
Na Uber driver.
Yeah, but now he no go see the person again now. He go still see you now.
work for 2 months.
La
See, I just
just-
see. So if I say the battery,
Okay,
I'll
no,
change
okay,
it.
no.
now.
Na Uber driver read that thing. Go see I see.
Say no.
This is just
Even the
stop now.
passenger will just drop. He
this-
enjoy
you
You
know
don't feel
this.
the cool. It's
Say go
still
polish.
cool.
So I have a reservation towards attacking players getting all the credit in the game. Because I think that football. So I was speaking to Yobo, obviously at the match day experience Guinness,
Yeah.
and he mentioned that look, even as defenders, you can when it's an attacker scores a goal, it gives you something to hold on to, right?
That's a very good point.
You know, and I took it because it comes from a professional that's played the game
Yeah.
as a defender at top level, right? So for him to say that made me think, even defenders are also
Give a bit of they defer to
banking on attackers. To,
attacking players.
Go and give us something to hold on to.
Bail us out now.
You
Yeah.
understand?
Something to defend.
Something to defend.
0-0 is not a happy moment for a defender.
Effectively, he gave me another definition of defending.
Yeah.
Right. Give us something. You don't defend a 0-0 lead. Right. In a
Except the nil is value.
That's what I'm saying now.
Maybe
Unless
a
it brings
nil
value.
were good. We were looking for.
We're looking for.
Or
Except that,
0-0 is nothing to a defender.
Exactly. So we're defending a 1-0 lead. That's why again Mourinho is so profound when he said people talk about the second leg of the Barcelona game, how they won us, but you know the first leg we battered them, 3. So we went there to defend something that
That
we already
lead
worked for.
had.
You
Exactly.
understand? So basically, I'm always skeptical about giving all the credit to attacking players but I think we can agree that when you watch Lamar, when the ball gets to his feet, right?
It's just magic.
It's almost as if the entire you know that this kid
Something's going to happen. Yeah.
Exactly.
and everybody accepts that.
That messy feeling.
That's that sort of thing.
When I think in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, best players in the world. There are players, Salah had a good season with the number of goals he scored. We
Yeah.
mentioned
Or we can cage
Rafinha.
him.
We mentioned exactly.
We can cage him.
We can cage him, in some
Dembele.
games. But this
Dembele,
boy,
honestly, man, Dembele
It's
has
also hard.
scored
It's
some
also
goals.
hard.
Dembele
ridiculous to
against
an extent.
Arsenal.
Hurricane.
But this boy just, he's magic. And back in the day, that's what it used to be about. Who's the best player in the world?
I think it was from that last year's Euros that.
Now,
the moment
Sagidi
I
and
saw him-
Sagibe will come. Now I can turn out to who scored the number of goals
Yeah.
because it was difficult to separate them
Yeah.
because they're always neck and neck.
Yeah.
But before then, it used to be back in the day when you see Ballon d'Or, you go see Ronaldinho, Lampard, and somebody.
Eto'o.
Everybody go look
Henry.
and say, Lampard, you had a good season, oh.
Yeah, but
But this Ronaldinho, he sabi play ball personal.
this thing where they do so. No
Give
one-
it to him.
Wait.
Yeah.
So he used to say, I can give Yamal
yeah.
the Ballon d'Or.
I think we can agree
Good
that
shout.
we can agree that
Good
that's
shout.
IBK loves it.
that's one of the best players in the world.
If you don't give him, you don't finish now.
But I don't think they'll give it to him.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think they'll give it to him.
I don't think they'll give it to
I
him.
think that it's a shame
You'll be in top
that the
three.
Champions League winner they do that thing where Champions League winner he has to factor into your Ballon d'Or. I think it's a shame.
That'll be Dembele.
I
think they might give them.
Because if Dembele wins it, for example,
Ah.
they'll start driving a
I don't know, man. If Dembele wins
But
it,
that's
Ballon d'Or is always
if
controversial.
Dembele
anyway.
wins it,
No,
man,
I mean-
I'll be. No. Dembele, how? Why?
For what?
Where?
I'd
For what?
rather give Vaskela.
So if Inter player win
I'd
now,
rather give Donnarumma.
Kwara State.
Kwara State.
so if Inter player win now, who you go give?
Nobody go win him for Inter
Nobody for
Milan.
Inter Milan go now.
That
I
one,
don't think anyone.
that much is clear.
Nobody people win now.
Nobody.
You know.
Lautaro, how many goals did he score this season?
Maybe
But-
Dumfries,
but-
top 5.
No way, no chance.
I'm even saying maybe you get nominated, but
But
to
let's
even win,
talk
nah.
about managers, right? Which manager this year has really surprised you this year? I think that
Surprise.
what I saw in the Premier League, for example, what I saw Iraola do this year is Idonte. Where
Yeah,
I see
Iraola
manager,
has to be there.
where I see manager, where you just literally like you're on a different level. You go to games and you're like favorites or not favorites. So we will impose our game on you the way we trained it, and there's nothing you can do about it. Secondly,
Espirito Santo has to be there.
what David Moyes did with Everton this year, right, is outstanding.
He started the season with them, though.
No.
No. He came in.
Oh, they
When
were
he
badly
came in,
ambitioned
right,
and they came in.
not just
Sondage.
not just
Yeah, they
winning,
struggled,
not just
gone.
winning the points, right, not just winning the points and getting them safe. The messaging around the club has changed. They're not a club they're not despondent anymore.
The messaging has changed
They're
now.
not looking around. They're not looking with hope. Like,
Hope. They are presenting this thing to Delap.
Like-
They want to buy Delap.
Even the
You got Moyes knows that I
Exactly.
can go in there and tell Delap, this is what I want.
That's what I want to do.
That's what he brought into the team.
Got to mention Hotela too for Brighton, the youngest coach in the Premier League.
I beg.
That boy
finished
last-
eighth.
The little are not
They finished 8th.
He's a surprise. He's a which coach has surprised?
That's surprising for the youngest.
What is surprised about
So
that?
look, have you ever seen a 31, 32-year-old coach
No,
come
but
into
we're
the
not about
Premier
age.
League?
We're not about age. We're not about the job.
It's still something. Look, where look at Brighton.
Now, so they finish. No,
Wait,
Normal Brighton
no,
finish
that's
eighth.
not normal
Where did
Brighton.
Brighton.
Where did they finish before?
Where did they finish?
They went to Europe last season.
Hey, you tell us
They
that.
went to Europe recently.
Well, no,
They went to
when
Europa
did they
League.
finish last
Yeah,
season?
yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
was it not because of De Zerbi? That's a high-profile coach.
It's not happening for
To an extent, B list. Because
Pep, why not?
B list,
high-profile
whichever
way.
way. B list
Why
and
come out there? No go
Marseille.
because don't be my saying.
You might not agree to the
That's
points.
why I would add Maresca too. Because
You might not-
when they signed him, I was praying
My
that
problem
God,
with you
where
guys
they
is
go
you
bring
don't
this
agree
guy?
to the points. Then you now start. The point is the guy is a young coach, I've not seen a
The only thing that
32-year-old.
the only thing that
Hold on,
surprised me
I'll
was
call
the,
it. I've not seen.
the only thing that surprised me was the hire him.
God.
So the hire 31-year-old.
No. My point is, I don't expect Brighton to be finishing in an European position
But it feels
every
like-
season. No, that was just the first time, and that was under De Zerbi. They've not done that in.
The Zerbi 2 was
the whole-
the Zerbi 2 was
Wait now.
relatively a nobody in the Premier
but
League before
he had
took
done
them
well
there.
at Porto, or was he not? Where did
No,
he
he
come
was
from?
Shakhtar Donetsk.
You know,
Oh, was
you know,
Shak- sorry,
you know,
Shakhtar Donetsk.
He was a nobody in the Premier League
But
too.
yeah, but he's not the youngest guy. Which guy have you
That's
seen
why I'm
that is
telling you
31,
that what
32?
is surprising
So
is that
the
they hired a
surprise.
31-year-old.
That's the surprise.
Don't be
No,
the
but
work
they
way
did
do.
well. They did well. The positioning is also very important.
They started
If
well. They started well.
Baba, look at the table. If they were 10, below 10, it's a different case. They are in a shout for an European position.
Let's agree
For a
to-
31-year-old. Come on, I mean 32-year-old.
you're on at the
Come
age.
on, man.
Let's agree.
But
Now
that's
the
still
age,
a
that's
valid
what we keep
point.
telling you.
There's the surprise is the
Truly, when they hired the
If
guy,
they-
I was surprised that they hired a 31-year-old.
I
That's where
I
he ended.
don't even. Are they surprised they even know ball? It's Abi.
I don't understand.
You know, beat United home anyway.
So that was
That's
And
still
then
a lot.
they beat
So why now
United?
United? So why now United they
Doesn't
bring up?
matter.
You don't
Why
beat
you
Chelsea
talk
like 2-3
Why
times.
you don't go coach? Why they don't hire you? Maybe you the coach.
Ganacho don't talk and say they don't win any
Maybe
game.
you be coach for
No,
Lekki. So why you
he's
don't go?
he's an administrator, please.
Oh,
He doesn't. He's not the touch
right,
line.
So-
right.
He makes things happen behind the
that
scenes.
was
Thank you,
now
my
your
brother.
now
God
your
bless
own. It used to be that you get. We no agree.
Like there's this
Say we don't agree.
there's this legal drama series where they watch. There's they had the good wife.
Yeah.
There's a particular judge. You come to his court. Whatever you say, you are arguing. As a lawyer, whatever you say, you must add in my opinion at the end. But people will never come the judge court before they go court. They will say, but your honor, this is not easy. The judge go to look at. The person go talk finish. The judge go to look at.
You know, I finished.
The judge go to look at. You go say is that in your opinion? People will not come before. They will come and tell those who never come before say, in your opinion.
So that show, right? The Good Wife, right?
Yeah.
The spin-off is The Good Fight.
Oh right. You don't
Right.
talk about before.
I've seen.
I never watched that
I've
Good
seen The Good Fight, so that's why I don't want to watch that show.
The good one, because I like legal drama. It's
Yeah, but
very
it's
interesting.
But
for
it's
me.
very good. But it's
Very
very good.
interesting for me.
I can already once I see that woman.
Yeah.
That woman. What's her name?
I don't know. I really the main protagonist.
Yeah,
Flourish.
she
When
really
I
she
bring
really
up
good.
TV show based on my surprise.
Yes, that because
surprised
it's
like that.
in your opinion.
You are
The
both-
surprise is in your
You
opinion.
are both crazy in the
But
video.
Raola,
After all that is said,
I bet Raul said Lano Jare.
how?
Bournemouth.
End of season now. They didn't.
You think say they go finish
that
second?
level was not. Guy, they were.
Baba,
they were-
who finished above who? Brighton
Espirito-
finished above
Espirito
Brentford
Santo,
and
Espirito Santo.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, so.
Espirito
So,
Santo is
come on,
the surprise
guys.
of the season.
I bet.
Espirito Santo is the
Yes,
surprise of
you
the
can
season.
use that one.
I beg. He messed
Well,
up eventually.
it's a good point you made. That's the point you have started with.
Get out! Useless man.
No, that's a good. That's a good point.
I didn't
Ultimately,
try to talk the thing. I just look like.
That's why I give you hands. Make I agree to it. Now I'm agreed
ultimately,
on one thing now.
Brighton still finished ahead of Bournemouth, right?
What's manager, uncle?
Worst.
Amorim.
No, Amorim cannot be the worst.
What's
Join
the
in
manager?
January, it'd be hard to give him.
I think Amorim can. United's team have been the worst team I've
January
watched
in
ever.
January.
This United team. I've never watched a team this terrible in my life.
January, you're right.
Nah,
Southampton
It joined November.
Southampton fired 2 managers in the course of the season now.
He took over when they were
Worst team-
14th
worst
and they
coach
finished in
cannot-
Finished
15th.
15th. You get. I watched the last game, and I think it's not an Amorim problem.
It's the Asian Cup.
It's not an Amorim problem.
It's not an Amorim problem.
That's what I said.
I've seen too many. There are too many, and again, I'll
well-
say very little because I'm a United fan, but I've seen too many games of different ends of the spectrum to conclude there's an Amorim problem. There's a bug.
Yes.
There's a bug
A
in
bug
that
problem
dressing
that
room
needs to be fixed.
That needs to be fixed.
Exactly now.
And it might
And-
be.
and not be coach go fix am.
No, now the coach go fix
if
am,
they-
but
the
it will
coach
take
could
time.
fix it, yeah. If they fix it,
They
I
would
dare
already
say,
give
I
by
dare
time,
say,
by that time.
it will be maybe the biggest cultural revolution in football and maybe
Modern day
sports.
football.
Because United is the biggest club in England. So
Right.
if they are able to fix it, it's going to be a big turnaround.
See, eh?
Because
I've seen Inter Milan go down, come up. You understand? I've seen AC Milan go, come back up, win the league.
They
You
don't
get?
go down again.
See,
They go down again. You understand?
Juve.
I've seen Juve go, come up. I've seen Barca crisis go.
I've seen Liverpool go
I've seen
through it.
Liverpool as well, right? What I've seen, and there's been no time that those teams have gone this low. Not in table, but in
terms of like
share.
everything that's just
Everything.
football,
Everything.
like
Yeah.
everything that's just around the
You just
club.
watch the team, and the team is
In and
like-
around the club,
like,
yeah.
You're asking yourself, like, what am I watching here? And I sense that's not a coach thing. right? And when you look at the coaches United have had, that just alone tells you that's not a coach thing.
Yes.
Mourinho,
It's cultural.
Solskjaer,
Luis
Van Gaal, Moyes. And Moyes was the one that fucked up because again he had a winning team, right? I think that's the one. Ragnick, you know. So, but I love the
Ten
yeah.
Hag.
What I would say is
that one yeah surfaced at the
what I would say is so I think what it does say there's a location.
Just come out of submarine.
What I would say, right?
Is there a new job?
What I would say is that there's something we have missed when we talk about teams trying to build again, you know, build back culture and everything.
Rebuild.
What we might have missed is that you see everybody always says because you're a big team, go and buy older, experienced players so that you can begin to win immediately. But what we have missed is that, you see, even back in the day, when those teams that we used to know that ended up winning, they started building with your players.
Yeah.
But there was no social media and all these things now.
Yeah.
So the difference now is that this social media, these young players they're maturing right before our eyes. Back then, we didn't know when this person was 18, 19.
They were protecting.
They were protected. So that's the difference. That's what I missed. So now people keep saying you are building up. Why can't Chelsea go and buy experienced players? It's okay. That time they were building. It is a lot more difficult to build a new culture from the ground up. Buying experienced, established players who want to come and earn big bucks and are trying to build a dressing room culture. It's a lot difficult to do that.
Those are the mistakes they made.
So
I agree 100%.
So you have to go and buy players that are young, that are still impressionable. You can't go and buy players that will come and tell the coach, you are not going to tell me how to play.
I think you even said it right, which is why everybody, the laughing stock, the two clubs was Chelsea and
You understand?
United.
Meanwhile,
all of a sudden Chelsea... Yeah, because
no, but when Chelsea just started buying.
When we started
everybody
buying,
was like, they're buying kids, they're buying kids.
I think
but that was 3 years ago now. Look at where we are now.
I think the problem with Chelsea's buying
changed.
was it was just
it was a lot.
It was too much.
It was just too
It was a lot.
It was just it just looked like a scattergun.
But we now see the sense in it.
But it was a lot. No. But what people were also taking out of it, because it was good for conversation, was that it was a lot because there were players that were being bought for the normal buy, hold, and sell that Chelsea would do. There were players that were being bought for under 21, under 18s. Kellyman from Aston Villa. Everybody knew he was going to play in the first team. But it was good to just say they are just buying players. It was good for the conversation. That said, United, to build a new culture up. Again, when you lose the Europa League final, and a player like Garnacho has the audacity to immediately grant an interview and say, you know, I've been helping the team in the knockout stages, and to come and play 20 minutes in the final. So for you to have the audacity to say that
you
thing.
played over 55 games.
My brother,
you played over 55 games across all competitions.
See this thing you said,
very selfish.
It's all that you need to say.
You understand?
Just
let the coach remove everybody who wants to remove.
Yeah.
Let him.
I think I made this point 2 years ago on this podcast, 3 years ago. I said, look, when
This podcast, don't hold reach that.
I've done 500 plus episodes.
I've done 500 plus episodes. We're now 6.
2019.
2019. We're like 6 years
Yeah.
in. It's not game. It's not the game.
No beans, yeah. And I said, when you have a dressing room culture that is determined by some players, like for example, you bring in Di Maria, you bring in Schweinsteiger, you bring in Casemiro, you bring all these players, Falcao them.
Yeah.
Those players don't determine dressing room culture.
No.
Right.
I lie. Those ones are coming from.
They have
so much
mentality.
They have
experience.
mentality,
but they don't determine the dressing room culture. No,
They don't.
They don't.
They come in a mentality. So when you see Luke Shaw, you know, you come and meet Luke Shaw, he's like lookouts, you know, the ones that are running the dressing room, you meet them, Lingard and Pogba.
Yes.
They're the ones that are running dressing, they run the place.
Yes.
You just come in,
Yes.
out of country, you know, come and do your thing professional, I'll score my goal, that kind of thing. But culture always would eat up strategy for breakfast all the time.
All day, man.
All day, man. So
All
when
day.
I
like
say,
this angle.
when a player like Garnacho, you didn't even go inside. You just
do interview now.
So what it means, and I'll take it further. What it means is that all through the time when you're on the bench,
You get it's so selfish.
that was what was on your mind.
So selfish.
You get
Your
you
team
were not
just
thinking
lost.
about the team
Team.
to win.
Yeah.
You get
You were thinking about
your club just lost.
So this guy no go play.
So this guy no go play me.
And don't get that wrong. You'll be sad that you're not playing.
I hear that. Yeah. No,
You'll be sad.
Don't get it wrong.
They
But
don't
you
throw that
show.
kind of thing out.
Bro,
They don't throw that
Fernando
kind of thing out.
Torres was mad at Di Matteo for not
For not
playing.
playing. But he
won
came
the
on
game
and
for
won the
Chelsea in
going.
the semi-final. But he didn't come out immediately after
Yeah.
that semi-final. to
And he
say,
entered the
"Omo,
final and still won
Exactly.
corner
won the
kick
final.
that
He was
Jota
after the
scored.
game. He was not
Exactly.
expressed his disappointment. I wished I played.
But more so,
Let the
when you
game
are the player
end.
Let me
that
tell
has cost the team at least, by my count,
Some
15
chances.
points. No, every game, Garnacho has played for
That's
United.
what Mourinho said. That everybody said I didn't start Garnacho, but in the last game he was the one that missed one of our biggest.
You missed the biggest
So
chance.
it's not as I've said it on this podcast before.
It's a culture team.
Lead up to the 2012,
culture
lead up
team.
to the 2012 Champions League final.
But the coach too.
Malouda, I read it. Malouda said the team came together and said, like the team like individuals sacrifice themselves. Like Malouda said, I went to the coach and told him that I want to play this final, but I can't start. I would agree you start anybody. Malouda said I did that because I knew that
Ryan
there was an
Bertrand
injury
started.
I was coming with.
Yeah.
That I wanted to play. I could have said inject this, but I knew that I won't be 100% if I started. And that's why I went to the coach and said it's okay. That's why Bertrand became the youngest player to start the Champions League final at the time.
We said it felt so bad for Defoe that when he saw Defoe was on the standby list, so training camp. So Rooney arrived and Defoe was leaving, and he knew that he wasn't 100% to play that tournament.
Yeah.
Right. That till today it feels bad for Defoe. Defoe should have actually been. That he actually thinks that Defoe could have actually been better, for the national
Jermaine
team.
Defoe.
play the game.
For national team at the time. People may think that's crazy.
Red
but
hot.
go back and watch Defoe at the time.
Well, Defoe was a menace.
Defoe was not
Red hot.
His numbers are not funny. Like Defoe's numbers, in the
His
Premier League
numbers are not funny.
Don't worry, we know him.
His numbers are not funny.
at
So,
all.
bad
At all.
boy.
You can be angry that you're not playing.
Yeah.
You can even decide I'm not playing and I will leave.
Yeah.
But it cannot change the energy towards the team. It has to be a team.
Yeah, it has
You
to
are
be a
not
team.
playing, you would.
That's
you,
what Enrique
you get.
has done with the young
You,
team.
you celebrate with your team. You are angry that you're not playing. You don't feel, maybe not angry, but you don't feel good that you're not playing. And you maybe make a decision that you leave. But you cannot change the energy of the team.
One of the things that you see this energy you talked about, I think, and you're on form, because Amorim said one of the reasons
Get out.
one of the reasons Rashford had left United, Amorim used the word body language.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
He said body language in canteen. In canteen.
Don't
Yeah,
understand.
he said that
In
about
training,
Rashford
carry
as well.
yourself
too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about,
Rashford, Garnacho, and I think he
It
mentioned one other
like
player.
it was like around the team, the body language
Around the
canteen,
players.
around the staff.
That energy cannot
Yeah.
be allowed.
Can't allow this energy. That's why I think look again. If Amorim has played 30 games, I think that for at least 8 games of those 30, he has not understood the task of playing the Premier League, and I can understand it. But I think that if United make a mistake now, if they fire him,
No, they can't fire him now.
they won't fire him obviously, but I think that they'll make
maybe November.
a huge mistake if they fire him.
I think he
Because
needs a whole season. really.
you need to rip off.
Deserves
He
it.
needs to rip it up.
That's why in many ways that Europa League final we lost.
Yeah.
It might be a great thing.
Because you could have prepared over
Because
they will go to Champions
Plus,
League
you don't pay Champions League again.
Champions League money will
Start
come
deceiving
in.
yourself.
So they will be like, you know what? Let's
yourself.
buy a few established players that can help us in the Champions League. Maybe the players will knock you down because the
That
Champions League
rebuild
and
is
do
not going to
something.
happen again.
You know, all
Pressure.
of those things. No, build a team.
Man, so Garnacho, like
Be realistic.
I pray you
You find some
club that will
team.
sign you.
You see what you said about when you bring all these players? They're not the ones that set
No, they
the
don't.
culture. I remember when was it Mikel? One of the things he said he got to a point, Drogba and them, all these men, the coming to the training ground, Chelsea, was like a 9 to 5. Like
yeah.
these guys who come to training in the morning, they will be there till 7 in the evening.
Yeah.
Like it was their home.
Yeah.
It was, this is our
That's
home.
culture.
You get, that's culture.
That's culture.
They will be there all
the training
day.
is harder than the
You know,
match.
that
the
time,
next
yes,
day,
now
the match
that time,
itself.
Ancelotti said, he did a training. He said, bring your family.
Yeah.
The kids were playing. The players, their kids were playing together somewhere.
Yeah.
Their wives were somewhere talking together. The boys were training.
Yeah.
That's culture.
It's culture.
11 versus
The
11.
the
now.
boys can go out with the staff. Let's go to the bar. Let's go and have some good. That's culture.
I don't agree with Gary Neville a lot of things, but Gary Neville always says that in the England camp, in United, the games they play in training were harder than the main games.
Yes.
I think Henry also said it on this last Overlap podcast. He's like, when you're playing Keon them in training, you know that you are dead. But I think one of the key things he mentioned was that Amorim mentioned after this Asian All-Stars game was the biggest problem he has with the team right now is that the team don't feel they need to win every training session.
You get
Every
tackle, every challenge.
Like training was a big thing for those players back in the day.
Yes, it
If
was.
you couldn't lose training.
I say,
You'll
Training
be
is the
angry.
game.
I said,
Training
Mikel
is the
say
game, yeah.
if Terry lose for training, everybody
that's
knows
what
that
I'm
it's a bad time.
saying.
The
The
game.
training is harder than the game
my trainer
itself.
tells me so I'm training. My trainer tells me I'm tired. I'm tired. The guy is like, he's like, if you are tired, you are gonna fight the way you've trained.
Yes.
Right.
When you are tired in the real fight, your mind will tell you you are tired.
Yeah, I mean, Henry even said something beautiful too,
fight
which
the way you train.
I hold on to already. It was like, working hard is a talent.
yeah, Henry said it. It's a talent.
Working hard in itself
Yeah, it's
is a talent.
That's
So
why
you find out those that are talented that don't need to work hard. Put those
That's
on
what I
the
never
side.
understand.
You that you can actually pick yourself up and work hard to get there. That's a talent.
That's why I'll never
in itself.
understand. I'm
That's-
watching
that's-
professional footballers on
that's
TV
beautiful.
at that level, getting
That's
paid
real.
this much money.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody is
Yeah.
gliding past you to go
Yeah.
and score in your goal, and you dey look am.
Yeah, and you dey look am.
It dey bust my head. It dey always bust my head.
So that hard work, working for the team, that is a talent.
It's a disaster.
The Sassi is one of the worst players I've ever seen.
Stop. Just-
Aston Villa won't buy him.
I'm serious. Though.
Moving on.
Anyway,
Aston Villa won't buy
anyway,
him.
so
and
we
then enter quarterfinals.
so we
leave
touch
him. It's not a
managers
disaster.
in Europe. I think that I can't be surprised with Inzaghi, but the biggest rebuild job has been him. You know,
No, Enrique.
Enrique.
no,
Best coach in Europe has to be one of them, right?
Yeah,
Most likely.
it has to be one of them. I think I'll say
It will
Inzaghi.
be, if Enrique wins, it is easy. He's on a treble. So
Yeah,
it's-
yeah,
So,
it's
so
easy,
that's
That Ligue, that France treble. I know they make him relax. As well.
But now to rate them, if they win Champions League, you have to
in-
start rating the Farmers League now.
I
That's
don't
the
even
truth.
say it's Farmers League. It's just that what's he going to do if he doesn't win the league?
But how many players can sign for us? How many managers?
Yeah, in France, what's he going to do if he doesn't win the league and their cup?
Like,
What's he going to do?
what are they gonna do? Pochettino when they won the
There
league.
was a time Lyon was dominating too now.
A time.
Yeah, so that every time
there was
there's
a time.
a
There was
time.
a time City 2, City 1-4. So
But look at the Premier League now. Look at the Arsenal ended up finishing 5 points ahead of Chelsea. Man City ended up finishing the competition.
Same amount of wins, 20
Liverpool
wins
peeled away
each.
early, we know. But look at the top four. Look at the outside of the top four. The competition. Even Serie A went to the last day. The competition is different.
That French league is not a league.
Baba, you can't say the team just good gone. You know,
Baba,
that
which-
same team they
I
Champions League
agree.
final.
I agree. The
Alright,
team
so-
good gone, and I agree because they are very good players in the
But
French
Martinelli
league. I
don't miss
agree.
that goal for this thing. The team-
Clairefontaine, come on, man. French league is not bad, though.
Martinelli.
You get one boy, man, you don't buy. Say that Enzo something. His dad used to play in this thing. One 18-year-old striker from saying Le Havre. Like, brother.
I mean, that would be boy. Now Arsenal are buying that boy from.
Yeah.
That boy no good.
See this guy.
That boy no good.
He has not even played, so I'm not even stressed.
That
I'm not even
boy-
stressed.
I
Yes,
I
you go
take
good,
no.
You don't watch and play.
Lami Yamal just say he touch ball.
You don't watch the
Just say
boy
he
play.
touch ball. You don't know say he good.
So now Lami Yamal will compare everybody.
That
now.
boy no good.
Liver.
I don't know. I wonder why.
Now Lami Yamal will go to
I
compare
see why
everybody.
Arsenal
now.
don't even follow them drag. You want good, they go.
Obi go there okay.
Now man, you divide everybody. Now,
That's
don't
a
worry.
striker now. How do you compare
Obi's a
them?
number 9.
Ah, the boy no
But
sign.
the back can play.
The boy if he play, but people where they learn from.
No say if you bring Lamine Yamal go Premier League, you might struggle.
You
know
go
what's wrong with
on
him?
Don't
as
say
exit.
he might.
You know say he go struggle.
He say
Lamine Yamal
Go here.
Premier League.
He will struggle
right
for
now
sure.
at this 17. Carry him go Premier League.
Struggle waiting.
Okay.
He will struggle.
Hazard
Let's
strong
say-
for Premier League. Hazard strong.
Hazard
You know
didn't
who
come-
Hazard is?
Hazard didn't come to the Premier League at 17.
He didn't come at 17. He came at
This
21.
boy know they play like 7. If that's not never
We
understand this
know
boy.
that he doesn't.
We know, we
he's not
agree.
playing
But he doesn't have the
We have told you
mental
he's not-
strength.
Which
And
mental
he doesn't have
We
the
have told you,
mental strength
physicality.
he
Which
has
mental strength?
is the
The
physicality.
physicality.
First he play for Euros.
That's why I'm
final.
going. The
See,
mental
Euros
strength and
final.
physicality
Tell
of
me
the
this
Premier
thing.
League is a
My
lot.
brother.
Okay.
All
Well, you
this
know, go
argument
rest for
wey you
December.
wan argue.
See, as
The
first he play
rest.
for Euros final.
Una go dey
they-
argue
Hey,
like
they
say
rest for
they talk say the
for
guy no
Spain
sabi
now.
football.
Don't worry now.
That's
It is just simple physicality.
We Alan won't
Enrique,
finish now.
as you dey like
Alan won't
this,
finish now.
this your lucky United team. You go carry them go play some kind game. You
They
sef
beat-
go
they
know
beat their
say
team now, they go- I
no be
watch-
say you sabi.
I watch them. I go
No,
watch.
be say
I go watch
that
the game
one na
for.
throwback. We dey play playoffs
I go
now,
watch the
bro.
game for stadium.
They beat them like thief.
Sporting Lagos beat Academy. Beat
But
them
don't-
like
but don't
Okay,
beat
the
them
academy beats.
Academy beat their own main.
First
We
team.
sef na
Academy
No,
beat their first team.
academy
Bro.
kill you there. Now una dey play
na
NLO.
small boys dey our team. Yes, na NLO na amateur
bro.
league now.
That's Sporting. That's Sporting
NLO na
Lagos.
amateur league. No be
No be
no be
amateur
just
the
league.
academy.
No be amateur. That is
Baba,
Now the
we
championship.
just
of
dey
MPL.
call
Amateur league dey different from
No,
academy.
no,
no,
just-
NLL is not an amateur league.
Sporting
No,
Lagos dey play
My
NLO
brother,
too. That's Sporting Lagos Academy they play NLO too.
NNL, yeah.
It's
No,
a-
no, but it is
NLO.
NNL.
NLO,
I don't say
no,
NNL. Okay,
I
I
said
thought
NNL.
NNL.
Even NNL now.
No, it's not. No,
Even
it's
the
not.
main
I've gone to
league-
watch
That
NNL.
main league seven.
Stop that
Nah,
nonsense.
nah,
Stop that.
That main league seven.
Nah,
That's
amateur
stop
league.
that nonsense. I know where you're going in terms of organization and how they change.
No,
their-
Baba, now you explain.
now you they talk
Nah,
no
no,
fast.
Baba,
Baba,
nah,
just leave am.
championship.
But don't
Leave
be
am as
Don't
you
they
talk
carry me go corner?
I be there for league.
Nah,
Go at
professional
least
league.
Sporting Lagos for league. So wetin
Nah,
you talk?
professional league.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
wrap
telling
it
you,
up.
wrap it
Sporting
up,
Lagos
wrap
don't
it
follow me.
Let's-
I beat them for league.
let's
Who
do it.
them be? You say me I go
Which league you
lose.
beat them?
I be Man U.
You beat them, Charlatan.
For league. Sporting
Which
Lagos I
league?
beat them.
You're not playing the same league with them.
And
sir.
guy says a
We
lot
they
of-
play their academy
This guy
now.
says a
They
lot
play
of-
NLO now.
When would they tell you say somebody go struggle? you carry your team go play game where you go know say these people. It be like say they train times 3 waiting with the train. No be say your team no sabi play pass them, but you see say you know if you hold them physically.
Because of
They
fitness.
jam you, they run past you.
You say they said all this.
Well, you know they do like Man U sharp. We don't overhaul the team. Straight after that 3-0, we don't send all of them come out. We bring in new boys.
New boys from where?
Comparing
For Lekki now.
New boys from where when I bring them?
Lekki club to Manchester United.
New boys
don't
from
understand
where when I
time,
bring
bro.
them from?
What are you
We
saying?
scout those boys now.
From where scout?
From Liga.
How many weeks United scout them?
You use data.
Like a month.
Let's leave it
use
there.
Because if I begin asking questions, that you expose
Let's
yourself.
leave it there.
Like,
I know
I want to
your
express
contract.
myself.
I know you don't. I know you narrow your contract. There are something in your contract.
You hoodwink yourself now.
Let's not.
See what happen.
Anyway,
Anyway,
refurbish the team.
let's do a Champions League team of the year.
How will they play playoffs now? No
Total.
Our team no small again. No, bro.
Champions League team of the year.
I always like to do these teams, especially before the games happen, so that you have a clear. Except somebody does an exceptional performance in the final.
Exactly.
You know,
'Cause
before they make it.
from the goalkeeper now.
Revisionists.
From the goalkeeper now.
Goalkeeper now.
Like
easy.
that, like that
No,
Mamouche.
the goalkeeper,
like that
the
Mamouche
goalkeeper
goal of the
himself.
season.
I have to wait till the final happens before I pick.
The goalkeepers are very, very even at the moment.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Right.
Very even.
Very even at the moment. But,
Jan Sommer
the
and,
amount, but the amount of shots that Jan Sommer saved in that against Barca.
Baka.
Imagine.
Right now, I put him ahead of the.
Imagine. See that
Donnarumma.
Donnarumma.
Plus,
God.
Donnarumma already comes with he comes with that. He has this potential.
He has improved this season though.
Oh, he fell off. He dropped off for a while.
Fell off one time.
Immediately after that Euros that Italy won.
That's why I say
he dropped.
that useless McMahon. Everything
He dropped.
Mike Mayer is a good
That boy is a scam.
Mike Mayer is a good goalkeeper.
That boy be like, if you feel like Onana, you know they die.
Baba, that boy no dey dive. Oh.
That boy is-
Right back.
That boy just plays
Mike
ball.
Mayer, goalkeeper.
He just plays ball.
Let's move on. I had to talk. Right back.
You know he dive. Oh.
Just plays ball like this. That go.
Right back. You know now. Inter boy.
Dumfries.
No, don't forget that one
Dumfries.
easy. No,
Center.
Left back.
Gabriel.
Left back is
No,
PSG.
center.
Gabriel and this
Left
guy.
back is
Kubasi.
What's his
And
name?
Marquinhos.
Kubasi kill you there. Kubasi cut your mouth there.
Gabriel and
No.
Which Gabriel?
No, that's
Gabriel
wait.
Relax
wait,
first.
wait.
Gabriel no play semi-final.
No,
Make
play
him
semi-final.
relax.
No, play semi-final. Relax.
He no play
You-
semi-final.
Diamond-
okay.
Saliba is
Okay. Saliba. Saliba and Marquinhos.
Relax now.
Relax.
Relax now. No.
There's no way Bastoni doesn't come in there.
No.
Ooh, thank you,
no way
Bastoni.
Bastoni
Thank
doesn't come in
you.
there.
Oh, Asebi.
There is no
Bastoni.
way Bastoni doesn't come in.
Ooh, I
That's the way
forgot
una fit
that.
tell me.
Bastoni has to be there.
Bastoni is one of the
I'm
best
sorry.
centre backs this season in Europe, in
100.
all of Europe.
100.
You know, those 3 center backs where they Inter.
Bastoni, Achebi,
No, but Achebi, I will come out.
Bastoni, Achebi, and
now.
the black guy. Achebi don't
That
hold.
black
Biscuits.
guy really played. He
Biscuits.
improved his.
Oh, Biscuits.
Bisset.
Bisek.
tall guy, yeah.
Bisek.
Biscuit. I think that's
Biscuit.
TV.
Bisek.
Biscuit.
That those guys we didn't have.
That guy is 6'5". oh.
Biscuit.
That guy is
German.
6'5".
Amazing.
Who be that? Who be that?
Moving on, don't worry.
The inside joke.
Nice side joke. Nice side
Joker.
joke.
Bisek, yeah.
Yeah,
Bisek
Bisek.
and Bastoni.
Bastoni has been one of the best. There's no way Bastoni doesn't come in there.
Okay.
I think
In my
Kubasi,
opinion-
I think you can.
In my opinion,
Can give a shout for Kubasi.
Kubasi
No,
will
he
cut
can't.
your mouth.
Stop.
In
Okay,
my opinion,
why no one
it is
put Kubasi for
Bastoni.
there?
It is one of Bastoni. Bastoni left side, Saliba right side, or Bastoni and Marquinhos.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Yes.
Yeah.
Left
That guy with
back
the
is
Pierre
clear.
Marquinhos.
It's clear.
Nuno Mendes.
That
Nuno
boy
Mendes.
with- sorry,
100.
that boy with the Pierre Marquinhos, that black guy.
That black guy, I was going to mention him,
That guy
but,
good.
but,
That guy
he's
good.
not gonna go ahead of Bastoni.
Yeah, that boy.
You don't know his name. Wait,
I
I can't remember his name.
That
I
guy
see a lot of
Pass.
Upamecano.
Pass.
I told you
Give me
that.
that way.
You said it.
Yeah, Aaron did the guy
Upamecano,
leg.
Where is he?
just leave it like that.
He did buy him.
Where is he?
Let it
He
go.
did buy him.
Just let it
He
go.
still plays for Bayern.
Yes,
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
You see the
So Nuno Mendes goes in left
Yeah,
back.
left back, easy.
Midfield.
not DiMarco.
Pedri.
No, Dimarco. No, Nuno Mendes goes ahead of.
Nah, Vitinha for me.
No, Pedri.
Pedri.
I'll take Vitinha ahead of
Who
Pedri.
keep Vitinha? Pedri is number 1.
Nah,
My
Vitinha,
God.
man.
Declan Rice. You have to.
No, right.
Oh, you do Vitinha and Pedri.
Declan Rice.
My
Oh,
boy.
Vitinha. Come on, guys.
Pedri, relax.
Come on, guys, we're waiting.
Pedri.
Midfield.
Pedri, Declan Rice,
Nah.
and Barella.
Nope.
Yes.
Vitinha,
No, go.
Pedri, Vitinha, Pedri, and
Declan
what's the
Rice.
call him? This guy for
Declan Rice.
Barella.
All the guys.
Declan Rice has to
No,
come in
this-
there.
Oh.
This Fabio Ruiz guy.
Come on, wait.
I have to put Ruiz, has to be there.
God.
So let's
That boy
agree.
could
Let's
die.
all agree. Let's all agree that we can only
Fabian
pick.
Ruiz is
Let's
there.
all agree that we
But
can only
Vitinha-
pick.
Fabian
Wait,
Yeah,
let's
but
all
that
agree that we
Vitinha-
can only
Even
pick
over Vitinha
one
safe,
or
never.
two of PSG's
But
midfield.
that rich
No,
boy.
we only pick one. There's only one I pick him from there.
If we pick one,
That rich
one is
boy.
Fabian Ruiz.
who else
rich
are we
boy.
putting there? Pedri.
Pedri.
I
and
think
Declan Rice.
I think
Why
I can
did you
I
guys
can I can
rate
replace
Vitinha?
I can
Just
replace.
I don't understand.
No. I can get I can put Vitinha in place of Fabian Ruiz.
That guy
can't.
controls
No chance.
the game.
Barella.
You know why?
So what's the better calling for the
You know why? You know why? You know why?
You put
You know why?
both
And
of
you
them.
see, you they set formation. Who
Eh,
are
you
talking
they
about?
set-
Who are
this
talking
one is
about
criminal.
based on their
They
performance?
set
Barella.
because of the fine level.
I think that Fabian Ruiz played better than Vitinha. That's it.
No,
I'm sorry.
Fabian Ruiz had games where he was better,
He's-
but Vitinha was.
He's a grafter too. in a way.
Vitinha was
Vitinha
their
builds.
controller in chief for
He
all
builds,
the
he
games.
brother.
controls.
No, my
does.
brother. If you remove Fabian Ruiz from
Even
that team,
Jao
from that
Neves
team,
has a shout. The only reason I'm
Oh,
not
he's just a
talking
hard
Jao
worker.
Neves.
That one is just a hard
The only
worker.
reason I'm not talking Jao Neves is
one
because
is a
we're
ball
talking
winner.
about who
So-
put Declan Rice there.
Yeah.
So I can remove
So
Jao
we have-
Neves.
So we have
so
Barella,
Pedri, no,
Pedri,
no,
and Ruiz.
Pedri, Ruiz, Declan Rice.
Okay, yeah.
That's your own
Declan Rice,
list.
yeah.
No problem.
Yes,
No.
me I'll
Which
go
one-
with.
we-
Me I'll
I'll
go
put
with. Me I'll
Vitinha,
go
as I
with
said,
Pedri.
Vitinha, Pedri, and
Oh,
Barella.
but he had to put Pedri and Vitinha together.
So wait.
I
They
don't
set
care.
formation.
Wait,
I'm not setting formation. I'm
Relax.
just playing.
Relax.
I can,
So you
I can
remove
play
Pedri and Declan
Pedri
Rice.
as a-
relax now,
Yeah,
guys.
now.
You remove Declan Rice for team.
I
So
don't put Declan
me,
Rice.
I cannot take it seriously.
my
You go
midfield,
put Declan Rice.
Why?
my
But which
midfield
one
will be,
concern me? I'm not
in my
putting him
opinion,
now.
no, my midfield will be Pedri, Vitinha, and Jao Neves. That's my own midfield.
My own Declan Rice, Pedri, and Fabian
My
Ruiz.
brother.
Fantabulous.
Since our two agree,
So,
Moving on forward.
so left wing.
left wing is quite
Rafinha.
clear. No, not Rafinha.
Rafinha has the highest
Nah,
goal
Rafinha,
involvement
no.
in the
Left
Champions
wing.
League.
Left
Rafinha.
wing.
This season.
Rafinha.
Left wing.
Yes.
Rafinha.
Fair,
You want
fair.
put Quara for there? No,
No
no.
vex.
Don't require na Kogi.
Left wing. Rafinha.
Rafinha.
Rafinha for sure.
Center.
Center forward.
This side. This
Dembele.
right wing. We don't even need go
Dembele.
there. This right wing. We
Dembele
don't even.
most
This
likely.
right wing. We don't even go there. This right wing. Person don't build house for there.
There's no point.
Yamal.
Dembele.
Dembele. I'm
likely.
not gonna put Dembele there.
Or
man.
I'll put Lewa.
But he played as 9.
No, that Mbappe I go put for there. I think Ben Godina.
Dembele played as 9.
Mbappe.
Mbappe
had-
Jad.
Mbappe Jad for quarter final.
Yeah,
Ja.
Dembele played
Now
as 9.
Lewandowski or
Sure you know.
Dembele.
Yeah, he did.
Dembele
So
Dembele
I'll
is number
put
9.
Dembele there.
Dembele plays number 9. The
Dembele
goal is
now.
scored. That goal is scored early. That goal set the table for that
But
game.
you know,
Like
he
mad.
I think Dembele.
You won't overthink
he didn't
that.
score a lot of goals in the
Yeah,
in
but
the
very
knockout
important- very important
stages.
goal.
Mbappe most definitely
No,
scored
Mbappe
more.
no.
Mbappe is that part.
In a Champions League level, they talk about.
What
Yeah.
Yes, now.
You know they start. Madrid had a difficult
Don't
start.
change mouth.
I
Champions
don't
League.
want to get that.
PSG also had. They played.
Yes,
They
now.
played the
They almost
playoffs.
jam now.
They played
But Mbappe
playoffs.
was scoring
They played
consistently.
They almost
playoffs
jam
against
now.
Brest.
Mbappe is that part.
Pause. Brest. Pause.
Mbappe is that part. Go on.
Now who
Mbappe
they-
did that way Lukaku do that year.
now who they play for match he go score against
Hey,
now?
the best-
He no score back. He score back now.
Best match every season. Na nice breast.
But now good game them play now.
Nice, bro.
Them beat Brest. Both legs.
Yeah. So I think that's the team of the season, right?
Agree.
Champions League team of the season.
Yeah.
All right, fantabulous.
That's it, right?
Say rap.
Anything else I've not touched?
Nah.
Signing of the season.
This Conte way,
we're
Conte
moving
won't
on.
come out good this thing.
Conte na madman. There's a Conte that go hold your edges for neck.
But-
Say if you don't give me so.
I want for all the demands. The one way boss my party say it must be the new training ground. I say
That might not be true. Cause is he mad? How long does he know how long it takes to be the training ground?
Conte, you don't know Conte.
He won't come.
They might
out.
not
If
be
you won't
one.
come out,
They might
you know
not
you
be
go
a
market
quality
say-
one. Yeah.
You go market
And
say,
Laurent.
If you want come, you don't ask for what
No, no,
But let's be real. Have you forgotten that De Laurentiis is a very
You can't see. Say now 250 there.
De Laurentiis is a very cunning man. We've known him for
They've already started exploring who can.
he has always been
Allegri
very
is
cunning.
no-
So
He has
that's
been
why
to-
Conte is going hard on him.
He has been to
Pause.
Allegri.
Nico Scherer,
Even in Atalanta too, might replace
For me,
Gasperini.
Conte
I
will
even
stay.
think
Conte will stay.
I even think that
I think
De
he should
Laurentiis
stay.
wants him to go because De Laurentiis
That's
don't
how
want
he
the
is.
pressure of make I spend money every year.
No, but Fab said it yesterday that I think they've had agreement that he's going to stay.
Conte,
Yeah.
that means
Then
before
Fab
that
said
means
it.
before
Bro,
before
the guy
November.
was Conte
we'll
was
fight.
frowning after they won. De Laurentiis go meet him, take picture.
Conte
I
na-
just
Conte-
don't
I
need-
know say before December they go on. They go
Fire
on.
cracker.
Before
You go
December, they
create
go on.
I
problem,
love him.
problem
I
with
love
it.
him for that. Put the guys on their toes.
I don't love him for it.
I like
That
it.
useless Gary Neville.
I
But
like
my own
it.
He was,
observation.
The only thing I don't like is when it goes after some.
And
some
speaking
his
of Man
players.
Youssef,
My
that's
own-
another
but
theory I
my own-
have.
my own
United
observation.
as a club need to start putting. Obviously, they don't go put them out directly. They go to feed them. Those are ex-players. They just start attacking them. Yeah, keep quiet.
I agree. Just shut up. Let
You should shut up.
Gag them.
Just shut up. Yeah.
Nobody says you can't talk about your.
When Emeka said it, I'm indifferent because I always feel like, you could do what you want to do ultimately, but they have such a
Because what they do,
I mean, now I Ferdinand.
because what they've done very
resigned
effectively.
from
Check
this
out.
thing.
What they've done very
From BT.
effectively. Check out. No other club has it. What they've done very effectively. I don't know. Maybe they know, and I'm sure they know because they know the power they have. They sow so much negativity amongst the fan base, such that the fan it will grow. Then the fan base will start exhibiting we can't take it anymore.
What I think they have done more than anything is that they've built all their careers on United.
Around United.
Yeah, so there's not.
United is start filling out. These guys don't know how to run the club.
United is their
These guys don't know what it takes
So guys
to
like-
run it. They need to start filling out.
So guys like Paul Scholes, they don't say anything important.
You get?
Yeah. So Scholes,
They just keep-
So Scholes as an incredible player I don't ever see Scholes analyze a game
And break down stuff.
and you think that you don't say what you know they head, but you can't. So just shut up.
And how things come
Yeah,
together.
how things come together.
How does this work?
Okay.
How does this work?
For example, if you hear Henry talk, you can tell that Henry is. Henry can break the game
Tell
down.
those guys went for training
You
and
know,
exposure.
yeah.
America.
And even that Henry now, the way they talk about Arsenal now, it's not that what he's saying doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But
But
you get where
allow the coach work. You have to
exactly.
Your
To
words
the-
can affect.
The fan base, it can
And he
unsettle.
doesn't talk about Chelsea, Arsenal that much.
No,
compared
the
to
way
those
he's
guys.
doing it now, there's a way we'll get to. We would say you are going for that guy's job.
Henry
That's
now
what you
coach
want.
too now.
No, he hasn't even said that. He's
Because
done.
when you go in,
I don't think he's the biggest fan
He
of
doesn't
that.
want to coach anymore.
Yeah,
exactly.
he said he has-
when you go in
he
and
has
say,
lost that desire.
"Oh, so where's the title?" At least bring a cup. You have to be able to break things down beyond that.
Yeah.
You have to be able to break things down
Should
and
know-
go.
should know better, yeah.
We're at this level now. That's why we didn't play the Conference League. That's why we didn't play the Europa League. That's
Exactly.
why we're here. If we play the Europa League, we'll win it. But we're here. We're competing.
If
for
Arsenal
the-
play Europa League, they win easy.
You understand? So you have to be able to break things down further than just give us a cup. Yes,
This
I
same
agree that
Arsenal-
maybe be more serious in the FA Cup.
They win it.
Yes, on paper, theoretically, yes, but because of that football club's mentality,
They win,
No,
bro.
but I
they
thought
might
Tottenham
not
won
win
it,
it.
bro.
You get as you go rich now, we go tell him we say you are after Arteta's job. Don't be say
Yeah.
what you they talk no
Yeah,
make
yeah.
sense.
They win it.
But
Yeah.
just
Easy.
because
they
you
should.
can't be
But Arsenal,
Easy.
I mean, my own observation be say. So I was checking one stat yesterday. United's 2 strikers, 4 goals, 3.
we are way past that now. IBK, wrap it up.
God. Let's end this
Exactly.
season.
I want to ask which club. Obviously, if Inter Milan win the Champions League or PSG win it, you can say they've had the best season because PSG will do in treble. But aside, I mean, okay, let's add the both of them. If PSG win, obviously that's a no-brainer. But who has had the best season in Europe this year?
PSG.
Best season.
yeah, I'll say PSG too because that's treble is something.
Amongst all the football plus league plus everything.
PSG. You
Yeah,
can't.
PSG. They've been the best
Treble
side
no
if they
easy.
do win
Whether
it.
na
that's
formality
what
or not.
they've
Treble no easy.
In my opinion, it's Barcelona. It shocks you. The reason is again, like I said, PSG will always win the Ligue 1. If they don't win the Ligue 1, it's like a disaster. It's like something seismic has happened, right? With Barcelona, Madrid won it last time. They went through their struggles. A young team, they bought 1 or 2. Oh, we can't register this player. There was all that on top of their head. The cloud or above them. We can't register this player. We can't register that
I
player.
don't pity them, though.
All that. No, I'm just saying under the circumstance. I don't pity them too. I don't like Barcelona. I don't. But under the circumstance,
Yuck.
to come out on the other side of that with a league title, the semi-finals of the Champions League,
The way they play.
your player being one of the best in the world,
And the
if
Copa
not the
del
best in the world, winning the Copa del Rey, right?
Yeah.
And, Rafinha with the season that I think internally, they should be proud of what they've done in the
No
season.
doubt, no doubt.
In terms of Barcelona.
Barcelona, yeah.
In terms of under the circumstance.
I think that when you think about the future they can look at,
Yeah.
they can say they have they can say they're the club in the most ascendancy.
And
I don't think you can say that PSG are going to come back to the final next year, right? But I think
Young
it's,
team
clear,
too.
it's clear to everybody.
team
No,
too.
no, again, I know it's a young
No,
team,
but I
right?
think for Barca,
But
it's more.
I'm
yeah,
saying with Barca now,
you can
Everybody
your
will
money
say
you
on-
know
next season
that
they will be here
this
again.
team-
They will be knocking on this semi-final to the final.
except this kid has an injury. or something happens.
I want to say it's the same thing for PSG too, Sha, but hey.
Yeah. You could say that. The reason I just put Barcelona ahead of them in terms of the best season is because they're always going to win the Liga. For Barcelona, it was a lot more. There was the circumstance looked like it was more difficult with the La Liga and then the
But
Copa
it's
del Rey.
crazy. When Lyon was
I think the
dominating
only
Ligue
thing is I
1,
can't trust them.
they were not that
I think that's
crazy in
just
the Champions League too.
Who?
Lyon, when they were dominating Ligue 1 then.
Why they always
I'm
mention
just-
Leon?
No, that's where I'm going. I'm trying to let you know that because a team is dominating a particular league at some point, doesn't take away the fact that it's
But
still tough for them to
win
play well in the Champions League. So Lyon was struggling in the Champions League,
FS,
but they
wrap-
still
wrap- wrap it up.
but they
Let it go.
still what did they do? So it is still something if PSG win.
I know talk say no be something.
where I'm going.
I'm just saying that
It's a bigger
I
one.
think that these guys are a bit.
I think that
The
Barcelona.
treble is something big.
I don't talk say no be something.
Get anybody for this table if we talk
Yeah,
about
now
it.
League One when they try right off now. Where are they go?
Because it's the Ligue 1 and the France
That
Coup
they
de
always
France. If I coach PSG, I'm gonna win it.
the Farmers League.
If you coach PSG, I'm sorry, Lyon then, so you would have always won it. But why are you struggling in the Champions League?
So
what will?
this question for waiting.
Ever wrap it up.
Nah, it's the controversy about it. all.
About whether PSG no win the Champions
I
League
just think
or
that
not.
Barcelona are the ones looking
I
up
think,
the
I
most.
think they've had a better season than anybody else, to be
For
honest.
PSG?
Yeah. Whether they win it or not, I think they've had a better
I
season.
mean, they had good
The better
investment.
season,
So,
I think they played the best
Baba-
football.
Baba-
I think they
But
played the
this
best
same
football.
Again,
PSG beats
relax,
best
IBK.
football.
three English clubs
Back to
and
back.
to the final.
Relax.
Bro, it's not
Relax.
easy.
English club, now
You
Jesus.
have,
It's not easy.
Tough teams, yeah.
But it's tough. Forget
Look,
it.
and talk
Tough.
say
It's
English
tough.
teams are supposed to day
It's
lower
tough.
competition.
Which English teams have beat?
For round of 16, then beat
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Yes.
For
Arsenal.
quarterfinal,
Villa.
they
beat
beat
Arsenal.
Aston Villa.
Yeah.
For semi-final, they beat Arsenal.
Yeah.
But
Tough teams.
but-
who are
Wow.
Arsenal too.
who are in the top six?
The only team.
Speaking
The
of-
only team.
who are
wey
in the
look
top
like-
six? Who
The only
finished
team
in top
that
They beat Arsenal.
relax.
They beat Arsenal.
Going into the tie.
And they won in England. All the games.
Baba, they finished
But
the
they
team
go-
they
if you
beat
beat somebody,
finished in
they
the top
win somewhere
six.
All the games they won in England.
Arsenal will just they come here for the first time in a long time. That one
Tired.
today.
We shall find it.
Quarterfinals now.
We
They
don't
were
go
in
find
the quarterfinals.
Excuse you, they find.
They were
They
in
should be second for
quarterfinals
league.
the season
Anyway,
before now.
They should be second for
They've
league.
not been here in a long time.
That's
Gary.
when person
And Aston Villa, you beat Aston Villa.
They don't win Champions
They
League.
are-
Aston Villa
Madrid.
would have easily
I beat
knocked
them.
out.
They Aston Villa
Lack of
won
experience,
Champions League
though.
before.
The lack of experience, Aston Villa did not.
Yeah, that was
Wait till you go down before.
No, but it was quite clear.
So they grabbed the game at the
Lack
scruff
of
of the neck now.
experience.
It
No,
was,
go
it
get
was,
the
it was
experience.
quite clear. But
PSG.
speaking of Aston Villa, I was very sad for them actually. I think that
Bro, I was
Una
so-
chop
I
the eye.
was disappointed for them. No, it's
Una
not even
chop
about
I think the guy actually stepped on the goalkeeper's hand.
No, he didn't.
I think he did.
He didn't.
my brother.
The
Which
goalkeeper
I
don't use
support
in
United
two
team.
hands.
We-
Hold the ball. I think that was the
Oh,
advantage.
Watkins and
That is a clear goal as any other goal.
That was
a
But
goal.
what I will even say is, I think United still overall deserve to win the game. United
Because they got a red card
No,
already.
United
If they had
cooked-
counted that goal, United probably would have
cooked
scored
Aston Villa.
4.
But you see, again, games about moments. That moments were given Aston Villa the ascendancy. They need a draw.
But
Yes.
they've been day short one. If
Yes.
they score that goal,
They
if
go
they
just-
go different, they go feel hold on.
They go hold on
They go
1-0.
hold on,
At least
man.
one a
They-
draw.
Yeah, they go hold on.
You understand?
They go no say
Ah,
na
it was
draw.
so painful that they had to miss
think-
out
oh God.
because Newcastle
Baba-
lost.
Baba, it was
I
not
think,
painful.
I think
Na
that.
the thing.
I
Yeah,
think
I'm happy
that.
that Villa dropped out.
This guy,
I think Aston
Martinez
Villa-
was very.
No, it was very stupid. I think that Aston Villa are one team that,
I like them.
that if they had gone Champions League again with
I
this,
like
with this
them.
Emery guy,
They can play. They
Bro.
can
They
play.
can
They would
play.
have chalked us out most likely if they
No,
if they
because
had
we
beaten
were winning.
United. No, if they beat
no,
United,
no,
maybe
Chelsea
like
were
4.
safe.
We were
It was
winning.
Newcastle, it was Newcastle that
From
were.
what I heard, they had scored
Newcastle
4
were
goals.
losing.
4 goals.
See,
Come
what
on,
would have
against
no
United.
all those on are plenty now. I don't want to score 4
Okay,
goals.
come on, United bad
With
boys.
the form United was
Because
in.
Chelsea were winning. Worst case, Chelsea would have finished 5th.
Worst case.
Yes.
But it was Newcastle that were
Because we were
losing.
66. And for them to even topple Chelsea to 4th, they will have to score a lot of goals.
I think it's
to
destiny.
cover
Sha.
up.
It's
So,
good because Unai Emery is
what
a
was just
specialist.
painful for me was
it's
that
painful, fam.
Newcastle lost 2-0
Bro.
at home
Nah,
to
nah,
Everton.
yes.
Yeah, I'm just happy that Unai Emery is specialist in Europa League. Make it carry Villa go Europa League.
Go win am.
Go win them. Yeah,
I think-
Sure,
I
think
that would be
that's
good for
a-
them.
It can be better for them
I
to
think
win
he'll
Europa
win it. I
League.
think he'll win it.
That would be very good for him again on the
Yeah,
CV.
he'll win it.
Anyways,
He'll win it. Anyway, gentlemen, I want to say we've had a very good season.
Yeah, guy.
You know, it's not easy to finish a race. So I want to thank you very much indeed. Always showing up, Rufai. Always showing up, IBK. Always showing up.
Give me an award, though. Most consistent.
Uh,
this season.
you know,
this season.
all our arguments always
Try.
all arguments always mean that we come back next week and have a better one. So
Try this season.
I want to thank you very much indeed, gentlemen.
Celebrate you. Been a good
IBK,
season. Mr.
good season,
FX.
FX, good season as well.
Senior man. IBK.
brothers.
Before you come,
Nice
IBK,
one,
they
Jace.
call you.
I want to shout out
one.
to Wale for
Yeah.
for carrying the team, a lot of occasions, very special.
and all the guys through the season.
Wale.
You know, on Monday,
Emeka.
Emeka. By the way, Ni message me now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ni.
Jide.
Jide, who we would have loved to have more times, but Jide is
Yeah.
always,
I think
canceling.
a few other Dr. George, I think, was present a few times.
George
too
came
this season.
around, but yeah. So look, this podcast is a leading podcast, and I don't say that we don't say that because we're on the pod. I mean, we'll say that because we're on the pod, but ultimately,
But
this
it's the leading
is a
podcast.
leading podcast. After all said and done,
It's the
it is a
leading
leading podcast,
Yes,
and we
indeed.
appreciate
Well done, well
and we
done.
appreciate that so
Well
much.
done,
We did 10K subscribers on YouTube this year, this season, and that was really special.
Let's go to 20K.
Let's go to 20K.
Gentlemen,
100 after.
share with your
I
family
think that the
members.
only thing that's left now
100.
is for us
Is
to
that
start
YouTube?
doing 30,000 views on every episode,
You
right?
One name.
It's crazy. We do more comments, more than most podcasts I see, and I'm not quite sure what's wrong with our views. So I hope that we can fix
The
that.
algorithm is not smiling
It's not
on us
smiling
yet.
on us, yeah, so that's crazy. So I want to thank the listeners very much indeed, right? And even when we don't post on Spotify, somebody's, you guys need to post on Spotify, you need to. So thank you very much for that. Thank you to all the guys on YouTube. Thanks to all the guys on TikTok. We on 71K on TikTok, now that's really special.
Proud of you guys.
Instagram, does what Instagram does. So you never really know. But thank you so much. We appreciate it. We'll see you guys in the off season. Hopefully, if we have the time, we'll come in and do an odd episode here and there. But let us know if you want us to do Zoom episodes. Let us know now. Do you want us to do Zoom episodes? And would you watch it? If you watch it, let us know. We'll set up a Zoom episode and we'll record
As
for
live
you.
stream, Abi.
Yeah,
Nice.
things like that. If you join, let us know. So, thank you very much indeed. Who are we leaving out? Are we leaving out anything?
Stan.
In your bong one day.
We couldn't get
Big
Stan
shout
on
out to
today.
Stan,
We
yeah.
wanted to bring Stan on today so badly. Stan is a great guy, and I have to say that because it is not easy to understand a culture from some 8,000 miles away. So Stan is a special guy, right? Stan understands Nigerian jokes in a way. Sometimes I read Stan's comments and I'm like, how does Stan understand, this joke? So Stan is a special guy. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate it. And Stan already told me, look, anytime you're in Spain, mi casa su casa. And that's
My
really,
house is your home.
Yep. So that's really good.
Sharp.
We're hoping to go to the AFCON in December. We'll bring you a special package, and we're doing a lot of things to make that happen. So thank you for also helping us push that message as well, right? Gentlemen, we'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.
Salute.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right, that's it.